Top of the morning to y'all.
Hello.
How we all
Top
doing?
of the morning, afternoon, evening.
We've got Unnatural Selection and Prometheus today. I got those backwards. We've got Prometheus
Yes,
and Unnatural Selection today.
I think you've got Unnatural Selection on the brain because we mentioned it beforehand.
Did we?
did,
Oh,
you
that's
did.
what it is. Yeah, it's more
I
recent in my
mentioned
brains.
it. I mentioned it because I'm voluntarily watching this episode for the second time in 24 hours, and it's depressing.
It really is.
It's a hard show to
baby.
watch. That's a hard show to watch.
I had to keep pausing it at the end because I'm like, I can't watch this right now. And so I had to kind of give myself a slight breather towards the end.
Crazy
so.
thing that I never realized until really late is that
Yeah.
the main replicator, number one,
Mhm.
he is actually the villain in one of the episodes of Columbo that is my favorite episode ever.
Oh,
And like,
interesting.
it's so good. My dad and I once spent like all of Christmas Day just watching Columbo. Just the street, not streaming it, had it on DVD, just watching it all day. And it's an episode where he's the first, essentially a playboy. He has like a big mansion and everything, and he like
That's so
photographs hot women.
Mhm.
And then like
Is he
they
dapper?
pretend he's really hot,
Okay.
and he pretends to like that he's murdered his partner and makes it look like he's murdered
Interesting.
her, but he hasn't. And then Columbo spends the whole time trying to figure out the murder, but it never actually happened. And then there's a twist at the end.
That's cool.
It's my favorite episode because it's the only episode of the show that I remember seeing that doesn't
Yeah.
actually have a murder from the beginning. Because in Columbo they show you it at the beginning, and then they're
Yes.
like, "Now you figure it out."
His
and
name
it's
is
like Columbo,
Ian
interesting.
Buchanan.
Yes.
He's a Scottish
yeah.
actor.
He is
And,
Scottish.
It has a huge arc in season 2 of Twin Peaks.
Yes,
And
I know that. Yeah.
digested that earlier this season, and I'm like, oh my god, there he is. And he's very dapper in that one,
Yeah.
and very effeminate, and
He's really hot.
pitch perfect, hilarious,
Very beautiful.
He's really
yeah.
great.
He has done like a lot of soap operas.
Oh,
Like
totally.
he did like he did like Young and the Restless, I think.
Yeah.
And I think he's done like General Hospital, if you could call that a soap opera.
It is.
But, yeah.
Yeah. I love what you said. Yay, Columbo hides the body in the drywall. He does hide the body in the drywall. It's
Interesting.
crazy.
Wow. Okay.
Oh,
Really
wow.
good episode. It's so
I'm
good.
surprised I haven't seen Columbo because my parents love those kind of mystery TV shows, the British ones they love, and I haven't seen Columbo.
The reason Columbo's so good is because it tells you from the very beginning of every episode who's done it and what happened, but you have to watch Columbo figure it out every time, and it's always good.
Like work backwards.
Yeah, there's almost like a
Interesting.
filling where like the filling is like what killed him. He breaks down the murder thing and then puts it in his mouth, and I was like, whoa, that's crazy. It's actually in Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I think they like ripped that off because I remember being like, whoa, Columbo, that's crazy.
Does Columbo always get his man like Matlock?
Yeah.
Cool.
And I love it. It's great.
We have a new Wormhole Extremist moderator, Raj
Do we?
Luthra.
Raj Luthra.
I've just promoted
you.
him, so his next post will
he's
have a
been
wrench next to his name.
promoted.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
welcome to the ranch team, buddy.
Yeah. So Anthony and I were talking and wanted to add a couple of other folks. We're going to be adding over the course of the next little bit here. There it goes. Yep. He is suddenly wrenched. So, yeah.
Welcome, Raj. I'm not gonna lie, Raj. You're good at. Everyone here's a good egg. Raj, good egg, good job.
Welcome to the moderating team, buddy. He's going to be with us for
well
season 5 on
done.
Dial the Gate.
Raj is always here,
Oh,
so it's like this makes so much
fantastic.
sense. Everyone's always here, but like Raj, one of
Yeah.
the people that's always here, and thank you for stepping up.
Yep.
Appreciate
All
it.
right. So Prometheus is going to be up first, but before we get to that, Nicole, are you ready to
Yes.
rock and roll?
Yeah, this is a bad example. I hope that I have helped make this as obvious as possible. Obviously, guess
Of course.
in a
Okay.
minute, because it let everyone have a chance.
Of course.
Oh God.
These
I'm
are
so bad
clues.
at this.
These are clues. Okay.
Oh, it's pretty obvious. This is very well done. Russia? I mean, come on. You didn't have to put Russia on there.
Okay, I want it noted, Evie. This is 2 different parts of
Okay.
the episode. Okay, so this is underwater. And
Evie,
this
you
is...
got it, don't you?
Oh, I don't have it. I'm very bad with episode names.
Really?
I'm
You
gonna
don't
give
know
you
what this
a-
episode is?
to help you.
You
It's
don't
your
know this
favorite season.
episode?
It's your favorite season of the show.
Yeah, I know it's season 4.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
can't
so you know the
remember
episode.
Oh, you know the episode then.
episode.
You're
You just
good.
don't know the name.
No, I don't know the name.
But you know the
That's
episode.
okay then, but you know the episode.
Well, I do know the episode
You
now.
need someone dumber than you.
I can't think of
It's
the name
not
of the
big.
episode.
It's
Oh, is it small?
yeah.
Yes, is it small victories?
Yes.
Yes.
There we go. Jacob,
Jacob
got,
got
it
it in the chat.
Congratulations, Jacob.
Yeah,
There we
you know what?
go.
I was like, two different parts, and these are the three going through space, and then this is like gonna
That's
gonna
very.
yeet off.
Those are very good Asgard ships.
This is the O'Neill, and then they're gonna chase after it, and then
the
it's gonna blow up in
O'Neill,
space in order
yes,
to
that's
save the day.
good. I love
you.
it.
That
I'm
took me all of
trying
2
not to
minutes.
think of something, a bit X-rated when I look at those ships.
It does look very phallic overall, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Oh
I
well.
didn't see that at all.
Sorry, David.
I
we're
guess that
we're
just shows how
too
immature
dirty.
my
So-
brain is.
No, I mean the X's were like, yeah, those are about to get taken out.
Gecko Fett got it as well. I'm assuming everyone got it and then looked at the chat afterwards, so that you already you haven't cheated. So good job, everyone.
All right, season 6,
Excellent.
Prometheus, which had one reference in the form of the X-304. I'm if I'm remembering correctly in Redemption Part 2, which I completely forgot about. Because I always griped
It's
that it was
very-
never a reference beforehand, and yes, it technically is.
It technically is, but it's very
We don't know what
a
they're
very
referring
small
to.
reference. It's a very small reference, and it's not very memorable.
That's a fair point.
Sorry, a lot of people on Reddit were saying the exact same thing. They're like, just remind me where this came from again.
Right, exactly. There should have been more of a lead up. There really should have
Well,
been.
considering it's so massive and it's so
In more ways
like
than one.
monumental, yeah.
It's Earth's first
Anyway.
interstellar
Raj
spaceship.
Luther is correcting you already, David.
The
Like, he's
303.
using his
Okay, so the
moderating
304
power
was the
against
dead
you.
I was
list.
going to say it was
Here
the
we go. This
303.
is how it starts. I've given over too much power. All right.
His name comes up so boldly, it's like, can't get away from that.
Trying to think. I can't remember what I was going to say. So we're just going to
Oh, David.
Yep. All right. Oh, yes. No MGM logo. So check if your copy has an MGM logo, then roar past it, and then start at the black between that and the beginning. If not, start at the beginning with the rest of us. Our copies, in other words, do not have the MGM opening. So you guys ready to rock and roll?
Yeah,
Yes.
let me just cue this up. Also, I just realized Nicole is the only one of us not wearing blue.
I had to balance
This
it out
is
with
gray.
pink.
I guess.
Oh,
Is it
did
gray?
you-
Well, yeah, the lines are blue.
It's got like a line of blue.
The lines are blue. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks very nice on you, by the way.
Tommy.
It's very
Thank you.
smart. Yeah, it suits you.
You know how to butter a man up. All right. Are we ready to rock?
Yeah,
Yes, ready,
Candy Mitch
ready.
just said she's not going to be here because the episode's not working properly. So I just said, leave
Oh,
the
no.
ratings. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So
Oh, I mean, you could just listen to us like hammer on.
yeah, I don't know how people want that. So there
Yeah.
we go. All
If
right.
it works, come back. You know exactly
Yeah.
when we are
That's true.
in the episode. All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and start our rewatch of Prometheus in 5, 4, 3. My name is David, and I am with Yvie
Hello.
and Nicole.
Hello.
We're the Rumhorrell Extremists. I almost said we are the Prometheuses. I don't know why I said that. That is Adrian
That's
Conrad, played by Bill
true.
Marchant.
It is.
And of course, our favorite Tom Macbeth.
Yes.
My
I was
boo.
trying to like think of some sort of like catchy nickname for Adrian Conrad, but the best I could come up with was Conradical. And so like I ran it through an AI just for some fun, and it suggested the corporate snake and the boardroom parasite, because he has like a business
Yes.
background.
Yeah.
And then another clever suggestion was the M&A, like the merger and acquisitioner, because of the whole Goa'uld merging and Adrian and acquired him as a host. Anyway, the
I
I
actually
had a
quite
great
like
interview with
favorite-
him. He was great.
He was really good. The AI's favorite was CEO Awulded. But that's a bit of
God.
a tongue twister. And I'm surprised I actually said that properly. Apparently this was shot on location at Bridge Studios, like literally in the parking lot.
Oh damn.
Yeah, it's pretty close.
We'll also notice as well that Sam has stayed loyal to the Volvo brand, but she's upgraded her wheels. So she's traded in her classic silver for a more modern silver S60, apparently.
My
Also,
boyfriend was
she
going to be so excited about your comments on that.
literally she unlocked the doors, but the window was down the whole time, so she just tossed her bag in. Like, what's the point? Also, this is Kendall Cross as
Sure
Julia
is.
Donovan, marking her first of 4 appearances, and she'll next return in season 8's Covenant.
Michael
And
Shanks is like an older brother to her, and of course she's introduced in a season where he doesn't
yes.
exist.
Oh, well, yeah, I meant he's kind of in the background as Thor, but
That's
yeah.
true.
And this is also Ian Tracy's only Stargate appearance as Smith. He's the camera person. But he's actually maintained very strong connections to the Stargate family through other projects. He worked alongside Amanda in Sanctuary, and he joined Brad Wright's Travelers, and he also appeared on my favorite, Virgin River.
There you go.
Everything goes back to Virgin River.
I know, it's literally just because it's Vancouver.
I know, I love it. It makes me so happy.
Oh, it's funny. And I think, David, you made an interesting point in one of your interviews with Joe Malozzi about how the Prometheus just kind of appears out of nowhere, and we kind of said this beforehand. And for Earth's first spaceship, like, it's a massive technological achievement. And you'd think that we would have gotten, a few more hints and mentions of it in earlier episodes. It's kind of like sprung on us out of nowhere.
I watched this and thought I'd missed something. Because I watched it all out of order so much, I thought that was my fault,
Because it usually is.
It usually is, but it wasn't.
So I think apparently the episode was originally developed under the title X-303 Part 1 and of course X-303 Part 2.
Okay.
But I don't know how official that is. It was according to a magazine.
It's quite possible.
Yeah.
Deny everything.
Classic.
Yep.
And where would the tritium sample have come from? Kinsey's office?
Probably Kinsey's office.
I think Kinsey is responsible for a fair bit of stuff leaking.
Yeah, he's just sitting behind the scenes, just pushing people around.
But they never verify it, do they, on screen?
No, technically.
It would have been.
Yeah, but it would have been kind of cool for them to verify it.
Any number of people at Area 51 could have snuck something out. Edward Snowden.
Never been in a limousine.
No.
Oh, really?
No, I would like to one day.
I think I went on 1 or 2, but we're talking going to and from formal events, so it wasn't that fancy. There's balls and stuff for school. Also, guys, it's taken us 4 seasons, and we finally learned that his name is Paul.
Actually, it's in his premiere episode.
Is it really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's in a matter of time.
Did they say Paul at the time?
I'm pretty darn sure. I'm going to go back and check while you guys continue to factoid this one.
Okay.
Yeah, give her the speech.
The national security speech.
Exactly.
Shut up and bury it, lady.
For 50 years.
Exactly. So Colin Cunningham can deliver classified threats to me anytime.
I'm wrong. You're right. He wasn't named.
Yes, Yvie.
Good for you.
Yay. That I was actually holding my breath there for a second because I think that's one of the facts I didn't triple check.
Yeah. No, you're right.
I
always
double checked.
assumed
No
it was in a car, but I thought it was with General Hammond and not Julia Donovan. Absolutely right. They gave him his first name here.
Being the insane person I am, I wanted to figure out if he was named Paul for a reason, so I looked up the meaning of Paul, and I don't think it means anything.
No.
Oh, that's so you.
Yeah, I overthink
I just remembered,
things.
we're going to see Simmons. Those luscious lips are back.
They are for the very last time.
Those slappable lips.
Oh,
They're so
yes.
beautiful. They need to get slapped because he's so awful in this.
He just
Great
turned he had just had a birthday.
Oh, happy birthday. Happy belated birthday.
Yeah, happy birthday.
To John Delancey.
Oh no, he's born in March.
Oh, okay.
He's about to have
I'm batting
birthday.
1,000 today. Yeah.
David's facts are all
Oh
outdated.
man, he's gonna be 77. Someone posted a 70th birthday picture on Twitter. So this office here where you're sitting
Yes.
is the production office where
It
they all
is.
have their the
boardroom
writers and
meetings.
producers have their meetings. I have sat
That
here
is cool.
and interviewed Peter DeLuise.
That is
Ooh.
awesome. I love that so much.
Loved it. Fly on the wall for that conversation.
This gentleman at the end of the table is a veteran character actor, George Weiner, who makes his only Stargate appearances, Al Martel, which is hard to say. And he has a career spanning 5 decades. He's most well known for Colonel Sanders in Mel Brooks' Spaceballs. And he's an impressive, he's got an impressive TV career, including some amusing typecasts. He's played 7 rabbis and 30 doctors.
Oh my God.
No,
That's a lot.
it really is. He does have that face, though. I think it's the glasses.
Yeah.
Let us get on board so we can get a Goa'uld out of here.
Yeah, exactly. I think Kendall Cross said that she and Amanda Tapping wanted to like deliberately avoid the catty woman like trope and instead play 2 strong professional women with, you know, like valid goals, but kind of like, I guess, a sort of mutual respect.
I have a hard time believing that they'd allow them on board.
Yeah.
I think that if this was real, they'd just kill it. And
kill them.
threaten to, you know, unalive her. But
as people say nowadays.
Yeah. Well,
But
I mean,
we
they
gotta go
killed
on
that
with it.
reporter on the steps.
Right. That's
Season
exactly
2,
right.
yeah.
They took him out in
Season
broad
2
daylight.
or something. Yeah, exactly.
Armin Selleck.
That was in Secrets, wasn't it?
Yep, that's it.
Yes. Yeah.
It's one of the
that's
worst
Secrets.
television deaths that there is, really. I mean, the tightening of the shot and then he gets hit. I mean, it was not the best, but
1998.
Yep.
So, bit of a, I guess, a fascinating behind the scenes story with involving RDA's influence. So, as an executive producer, Rick had, strong objections to the premise of Earth's flagship being stolen, much like us. And this led to a significant script rewrite, particularly ensuring that Jack was nowhere near the Prometheus during the theft. And Joe
makes
Malozzi
sense.
joked that if you listen to Jack's line, this is an insanely bad idea, like you just said, that's like not just
so
the character
Rick wasn't
talking,
cool with
that's
it.
RDA channeling.
Interesting.
No, it's RDA channeling his like real life frustrations.
I didn't know
with the
that.
plot. And it comes out again when he approaches Major Davis and he blows up. Like that's
As he
pretty much
should.
Rick.
I
Yeah.
never really thought about how, like, because obviously this is TV, so it's there to entertain you, no matter how silly it is
Yes.
sometimes. But like, it honestly, this is the most powerful thing that we have. It can go into space, it can travel
Yep.
through the stars. Like it's insane what it can do. Yet we're not keeping it well enough under guard. Like, what the hell's going
No.
on?
Evidently not.
Yeah. So a few people online mentioned the whole skeleton staff situation on this very important project. So we only see about
Silly.
4 security guards in total. And for Earth's first spaceship, like that's about as secure as like Sam's Volvo with its doors locked but the windows open.
Yeah.
So I suppose we can kind of explain this away by assuming that they cleared out a lot of the personnel so that the nosy reporters didn't stumble upon anything, I guess, unclassified that they weren't supposed to.
Fair point.
I was going to say as well that there was debates among some like aviation buffs about the Prometheus X-303 designation. So some argue it should have been a Y or a YF prototype. But I actually looked into this because that's the kind of weirdo I am. And the X designation actually kind of works because it stands for experimental.
Yes.
And it references aircraft designed to test radical new configurations. And if the X-303 isn't anything, it's radical, right?
That's why it became the X-304s became BC-304s, and the X-302s became F-302s.
There you go.
Well, they were no longer experimental.
Right.
And I think about the design of the Prometheus, Joe Malozzi revealed that they drew inspiration from ships that we've seen in the series. So the mothership from
Sure.
Descent and the unfinished vessel and Nightwalkers. Joe admits that it's not exactly sort of top 10 sci-fi ship material, but that's kind of the point.
No, it's
And I
rough.
think the production designer, James C.D. Robbins, was like specifically told to make it feel like a modern military vessel, like kind of like an aircraft carrier rather than Star Trek. And he actually loved how bulky and utilitarian the design became on the screen. And it really sells the idea that Earth's first attempt at a spaceship, is built with more military practicality in mind rather than, sci-fi sleekness.
James was given the instruction not to make the ship pretty. It was made
Yep.
function before form.
Yeah.
So that's why it looks like an office building with an engine on it.
Oh, I think it
Yeah.
looks more like a man with really long legs trying to give you a hug while sitting down.
I love that description so much.
Because the two little bits that come out the sides, they're very like, I'm
Yes.
giving you a hug kind of vibe.
It looks like a man sitting in a bathtub with his arms on the sides.
Yeah, you know
Yeah.
what yeah.
That is funny.
And now I'm just getting flashbacks to Dexter season 4. Spoilers.
Uh,
No one asked about it.
Yeah.
Also,
Yeah,
the
it's
guy that
shaped
got
like Julie Benz. That's right.
oh no.
Terrible.
The second guy that got zatted also kind of started falling before the blast reached him.
Classic Goofgate.
Just
Love
it was just a split second too early, but it wasn't too bad. I also wanted to mention as well that, like, speaking of like questionable security protocols, the news cruise equipment screening, like what
Oh,
happened
terrible.
there?
Seriously.
So like either the Air Force like completely dropped the ball, or what I thought is maybe they were only checking for Earth weapons, like they were only scanning for Earth weapons. They weren't
It
expecting
might not have come
a
up.
Zat.
Yeah, that's a good point. It may not
Yeah.
have come up in a normal X-ray.
I love when we have to make up excuses for why Goofgate is okay sometimes.
Shh.
Got to make it work.
This is
Yeah.
how we live with ourselves.
Oh, yes, it's true.
Enid Ray Adams makes her
Yes.
only Stargate appearance as Jones. And if you have the chance, look at her IMDb profile, because she's written her own bio and it's actually really funny.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. And a funny coincidence, in 2019 she played Thor's mother in Good Boys, but it's a different Thor, obviously.
Interesting.
Big suspicious. I'm really focusing on like what Prometheus looks like now. I'm really glad that they like end up going for like the deadless kind of flatter type style down the line. I
It's
much prefer
clearly the
flat.
same line of ship, but it's
Series, yeah.
or it's looks like a turtle instead.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
That was my first thought when looking at it. It just looked like a turtle.
Yeah, it
looks
does
like
a
a
bit, yeah.
turtle.
With a flat shell.
Yeah. I just prefer the Daedalus class.
It's more sleek.
It'll be done by
Fine.
Tuesday.
Kind of reminds
That
me
is
of
a
By
like
Star Trek
Tuesday.
reference, if anyone gets it.
Oh,
You left space dock without a tractor beam?
if you look at like the Xbox 360, the original, and the Xbox 360 Elite that it ended up going to, the 360 has all this unnecessary crap on the top that kind of bulks it up and stuff, while the Elite was like, oh, let's just internalize all that stuff in order to make it look better. And that's what the upgrade is for me from Prometheus to Daedalus class.
There's handguns, so in that previous scene, so much for that
that's
thought.
true.
Yeah, dear
Yeah.
oh dear.
Okay, so
This moves really fast.
get another battery. It's like, here's your
Yeah.
battery with the side of assault. You know, assault and battery.
right.
Evie, it was so bad. You had to really explain that for me to get it. That was awful. Oh, my God.
Gosh.
I loved it.
Look at those old monitors.
They've like
More
hidden them
bulky
Oh, yeah.
inside the console to make them look flashier.
and flatter, yeah.
Yeah. You can't see the big bums on those.
I'm sure
'cause hidden
they're
away.
meant to be inside. I just
Yeah.
preferred when they redesigned for the Okay, go on
Yeah.
MacGyver. Get in there and start MacGyvering.
Yeah.
Yes.
I like the last two things in the chat is Raj Luther laughing at David and then laughing at Evie.
That's why we pay him the no bucks to laugh at our jokes.
And Candy Mitch did come back, sorted out their situation. So
Oh,
thank
so
you so much.
glad.
Perfect.
And like only like a quarter of the way through the episode, so that was good timing.
You get to be here for the next hour and a half with us.
No mice on any of the computers.
I always found that weird, but there's like shortcuts, right? So like,
Yeah, that's true,
you
too.
know, But I did always find it kind of like, why aren't you using a mouse?
So you got to love like Jonas's strategy here. Like he's literally taking back control by removing all control in a
That's it.
crystal.
Yeah.
One piece at a time.
Yep.
If we can't have it, no one can have it. So,
Exactly.
well, hello. Don't worry about it. Look, I'm a nerd,
Good
but I'm not that
comeback,
kind of nerd.
bro.
I'm a book guy. Hmm.
This guy keeps reminding me of a young Dwight from The
Yeah.
Office.
Oh, do you think?
Just no, it's not him, but it just reminds me of him.
Yeah,
Not
there's
this
a
one,
vibe.
but the other one. Yeah.
No, you snake.
You
Oh,
jerk.
You know what? This whole thing stinks of betrayal.
Evie! No. Oh my god.
Oh,
This
boy.
is like the worst one for you, isn't it? How many more do we expect? There's already been
And
like
she sits and
several
thinks these
more.
up, just so you know.
you sat there and did the AI stuff earlier. That was already bad enough with all the Conrad stuff, and oh my goodness.
Candy Mitch says, could you guys say hi to Linus? Hello, Linus.
Hi, Linus.
Hello.
Thanks for sorting out Candy's situation. Appreciate it. Apparently, Linus was like super aggressive, being like, "You need to be on that stream,"
Linus is probably 7 years old.
which I respect.
GAC boxes. They put a bunch of little things in these and super glue them in.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's peace out. No. How bad would it be though?
I don't think there's enough room in there to make a hyperdrive window in front of the ship.
Yeah.
So in the treatment that I did for Stargate Oblivion, a novel series, there was a vast starship interior, and an X-304 actually hyperdrived into a spacecraft. But you have to have room for the window and then the ship to go out in front of it if it's coming in.
Right.
So it would have to be a very large space.
Ted just brought up something so yes, okay. So one of the hijackers reminds him of Mark Pellegrino.
Yes.
So much. I wanted to say that. I wanted to say that so much. Yes, thank you. I was trying to remember who it was.
Just
So
all
we're
kinds
about
of
to
Dexter
see-
references.
Yeah.
About to see a very angry RDA jump out of
Yes.
a moving vehicle.
And Colin was originally like, they took
I
the
know.
ship.
I love that. So I was gonna say that Colin said that this scene wasn't just acting, like RDA really came at him with such intensity that the fear you see is real. He said that he actually loved it though, because he rarely got to work with Rick directly.
He's
And he
so
saw
red.
it as like almost a test for
Yeah.
from one of the show's executive producers. And in Colin's own words, he remembers being frightened of Rick in that moment, but also respecting the snot out of him.
What's great is he's doing this while like getting out all this wacky dialogue while Rick
Yep.
is like screaming and he's scared. It's awesome.
Yeah,
Love it.
yeah, he's doing a good job. They're both doing a good job.
I would just like the record to note that I was correct about Linus. He is 8.
Yeah.
Oh, did you say 7? You were like off by a
That's
year.
pretty darn close.
That's close
Thank
enough.
you very much.
David's on the money. A win is a win.
Oh boy, here we go.
Snakes. Literally in one.
Literally
Yeah.
snakes.
Eventually both.
Yeah.
Yeah, they share a snake. So I think the last time we saw Simmons was in 48 Hours,
Yes.
and he was being arrested by the authorities. But
That's
this
right.
kind of episode kind of glosses over those details, and I had to try and remember as well what happened to Simmons, because I can't really remember him being arrested. So
Carter's
I
MacGyvering.
believe, Yeah,
You-
I believe she's using a Hewlett-Packard audio analyzer to communicate with the external crew. I even have the model number here.
Oh my God.
And apparently
course
there's
you
an
do.
interesting goof with this MacGyver moment. The audio analyzer she's using supposedly can't transmit or receive radio signals unless it has Wi-Fi capabilities. I did not double check that though, so I don't know how true that is.
I can't believe Evie's out here getting like the numbers
Mhm.
of like the types of
Oh,
devices.
you can actually see it at one point. Yeah, it's a model HP H903A.
It had
It's a
Wi-Fi
level of
capability
research
that
I
early
would
on.
not even do that.
Yeah, I don't know, David.
Oh.
Like I didn't double check this one. That it was just a comment that I saw online.
Wouldn't even be like a megabyte of Wi-Fi for
Yeah.
download speed. It wouldn't even be
Yeah.
that. It'd be like so much less. Like
The first
I don't
Wi-Fi
even-
standard was developed in 1997, so it's entirely possible.
Yeah.
But I suspect it would be very short range.
God, I was born just after Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi is older than me. Ew.
Are you proud?
God.
I think Wi-Fi is an Australian thing. Like I think someone Australian invented Wi-Fi.
Really?
I think, yeah.
Fact check that. I'm gonna Google that.
And here's a bit of a quirky detail about the Prometheus's design. So Sam mentions she's on deck 7, with deck 8 above her. So they're numbering the decks like a building, starting from the bottom up. But apparently that's pretty unusual for a spacecraft, where deck numbers typically start from the top.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, ow.
They're paying me a lot.
Turd.
Yes, they've bought your integrity.
Yep.
Oh yeah, Evie, you're right. It was a team of Australian scientists in 1989 started working on the wireless LAN technology.
There
we
you go.
You. Proud Aussie.
Yeah.
Also, this is Kyle Cassie playing Reynolds. He
Okay.
actually previously appeared as a Urondan soldier in The Other Side.
Ah, there we go. A lot of Urandan soldiers we knew.
What a planet.
Also, if you keep an eye on Sam's welding helmet during these engineering scenes, there's actually a fingerprint that apparently has its very own cloaking device. It pulls a "now you see me, now you don't" routine throughout the episode.
Christ.
Oh, they're in Nevada. But of course.
I'd assume that that's where you'd stick a spaceship, you know?
Yes, of course. Also watching Sam use that plasma cutter, I think we should like come up with a new saying instead of watching paint dry. It's like watching a plasma cutter cut through trinium, because that thing takes forever.
It does.
Plasma Carter.
Plasma Carter. That's a lot of trinium on board that ship if they're using it to seal bulkheads.
Yeah,
That's true.
that's a lot. Like,
I think that's more than the mountain can provide.
I was gonna say the mountain didn't give much.
The
I've been
mountain
thinking
really
about that
came
mountain
through
the
if
whole
that's the
time.
case.
The mountain did
Yeah.
come through.
The mountain was like, damn, these people really need this stuff. Let's just spit out more than normal.
I love that. Oh, so basically he's saying like kind of you need to tell us more information, Simmons. It's sort of vent or get vented.
Yes, and not sucked out, but blown out. That is the technical
I always
term.
one of my favorite characters in Red vs. Blue is called Simmons, and one of his famous lines that I like to use for Simmons in this show is "Prepare to get Simmons-sized."
Simmons sized.
Oh, jeez.
Take with that what you will.
Yes.
And Lockwatcher just said that apparently in both car situations, it's the driving's done in the studio using a screen background pre-recorded of downtown Vancouver City, and they added the wiggling of the vehicles later in both cases.
Interesting.
The vehicle wiggling added
Yeah.
later.
It's a very real thing.
Okay. Oh, I just think Virgin River every time I see this dude now. 'Cause he plays a very similar guy with very similar morals in Virgin River.
I see Rita's abusive husband from Dexter, and I see Lucifer from Supernatural.
Well, we get his cut.
Hmm.
There's also a level of Battlestar Galactica to him as well, though. He
Well,
looks
Callum
like,
Keith Rennie.
Yeah, he looks
Yeah.
kind of like him.
That's
yeah,
who I
yeah.
think he looks like before.
My
Mark
favorite, one of my
Pellegrino.
favorite Cylons. Yeah. Combination of the two.
Adrian Conrad has arrived.
Callum Keith Rennie was in 50 Shades of Grey, and that blows my mind.
Oh, he was? Okay.
Yeah, he plays the main character's like dad, aka
I will
stepdad.
never suffer that.
Oh.
film
Yeah,
series.
I watched it and I went, "What's my
No,
favorite
me
style? I'm
neither.
doing it."
Oh, I
Look, there's a
see.
fingerprint.
Yeah.
There's a
Okay.
fingerprint.
Sure is.
Maybe she wiped the
Continuity.
visor and then went and touched it again, like took off her glove.
Well,
for a
there's
second and
literally
then
there's
touched it.
another in just a second. You'll see it again.
Okay, so she's
See?
wiped
No
it.
fingerprint.
She's wiped it. She's clearly wiped it away. Right now, she's gonna take off her glove and then touch her visor for some reason, and it's gonna come back.
I think that's the only time we see it.
Oh, good. Okay, so she's wiped it. Cool. That's my continuity thing. She wiped it off.
I have a hard time believing that Jonas would have known how to do that. Well, he did deliver the Nequadria that makes the hyperdrive system possible. So
He catches
They-
on
they
it.
might have just-
I buy it. I buy it.
They just involved him a lot, I think, maybe in the building of the ship. So Bill Marchant,
That's him.
he is an awesome dude.
menacing.
Yeah, he said, I think when he interviewed him that he had great memories returning as the character, even though it was for the character's death.
Mm-hmm.
good to
And he
be a
said
good bad guy.
he felt like a kid playing on a spaceship, which is pretty relatable since this is like our first look at the set for the Prometheus.
She's already hovering.
Oh, yeah.
They're just like the clamps were like holding her down.
Uh-huh.
I don't know.
Yeah.
The ship's on
Bust
some
him to get
kind
out
of because it went down and then came back up, which I've never remember noticing before. It may be on some kind of a hydraulic system.
Possibly, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Took looks great in those glasses.
I was
Yeah.
literally thinking that. I was like, I wish I looked that like stealthy
say the
in
brand.
glasses.
Okay, I was gonna say, don't tell me you looked up the brand of Teal's glasses because I'm gonna slap you
No,
through,
no.
through this computer. 'Cause
No,
how do you
I
know so
haven't
many
done
things?
that.
Those glasses would really work for an episode of Teal PI, though.
They really would.
Indeed.
Oh god, this has taken like most of
Honestly,
the episode.
she's been here for 10 minutes. At least it's really dragging out how long this would actually take, you know? Like, it would feel like a long bloody
She's not
time.
sweaty or anything.
Nope.
I love that she does that. She kind of covers it up a little bit so that
Yes,
if she
well,
touches it,
that's-
it doesn't burn.
Yeah, that's a good detail, I think.
That's it.
Oh no, Sam.
Dear, oh dear.
She's on an unfinished deck, right?
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
correct.
I
Not
can't
sealed.
enjoy the show and read every single caption. So, appreciate y'all's patience. God,
Oh,
this is an
always,
ugly design.
always.
I'm sorry, this is an ugly ship.
It is an ugly ship.
Look
Yes.
at that ass.
It's not a good ass.
It's not a good ass.
It's packing a load of booty.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. It's got like 2 fiery booties, and that's too many.
This is a cool shot though.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It's
Like,
for sure.
yeah, to give you a
There's no railing.
indication
Those
of how
guys could
big it
fall
is.
right in.
They
Yeah.
really could.
I would not want to be standing right there. In fact, I wouldn't. I'd like back up as much as possible. They're lunatics for standing that close. Well, thank God they're in the middle of a desert and
Yeah, no one's
going
going
to
to notice that
right now.
great
Look,
big
see, look,
ship flying
that
away.
guy's trying to hug you. Look, he's going to space to hug the moon. Look at him go.
No, he's just
Going
lying in
to
a
space
bathtub
hug.
as he flies away.
So while this is like super dramatic, apparently this is not how physics works. So in real life, Sam wouldn't be fighting against dramatic wind gusts. She'd be quietly losing consciousness as the air got thinner.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, yeah.
Not to mention the velocity of the ship moving out of orbit, but maybe they have inertial dampeners to prevent that. I don't
Wouldn't
know.
look as fun if the air
That's
was
it.
just leaving politely. It has to leave with drama.
It can't
Has
just
to
go.
leave with drama.
Yeah. Yeah.
We don't really ever see this Jeffries tube again, I don't think.
I feel like this is the exact like size of those damn Atlantis elevators.
Oh,
Teleporters.
yes.
You know, she should get a messenger pigeon and just send it out. You know, ask for help with Zelinka. That was an obscure reference.
Mm-hmm.
and
Gliders.
they're just
Gliders, unless one broke when it landed. Ooh, good idea.
Big
There
shots
her
that get
is in all
reused
of her
forever.
ugly glory. Yep.
Yeah.
The rest of the show.
It's
I
got a
initially
very
found it kind of
flat
weird seeing the
face.
Daedalus, because I saw you seeing Prometheus. I was like, ugh. And then I was like, wait, ugh, what's wrong with me? That thing was ugly. Goodbye. You know? Looking forward to it blowing up. Good episode. Shut up. Yeah.
Think.
Love that. What I love is that she's like the reporter thorn in their side, right? But then by the end of this,
Yeah.
she's an absolute bro, you know? Yeah, don't worry
She's
about
just
it.
trying to get to the truth. Like, she's not a
Yeah,
bad
she's a good person.
She's just
Yeah.
doing her job.
She's a nosy person.
I like that she
Or
reappears.
she's a reporter, yeah.
It makes me happy
Oh,
seeing her pop
So
up
I
again.
love how like Simmons is just like telling them to sit tight and like, you know, what's the in-flight crew serving today? Chicken, fish, or justice? Spoiler alert, it's definitely justice.
I'll take the kosher menu, please. It's always
The justice
better.
comes in kosher.
I'm sure it does.
I actually don't know what kosher means.
It's
not really
a
much of a
specific
thing
way.
here.
It's been
Yeah, it's a specific way that they kill the produce.
Yes, it's for Jewish
Jewish.
consumption.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's like
I've never really
bread.
noticed it around here. I've noticed like restaurants serve like everyone else.
Mm.
Yeah.
But I've never noticed the kosher thing.
We need more Jews in your community.
Yeah.
That
I
was a
don't really know many
cool
Jews.
shot.
Drama.
Oh yeah, yeah. This is a whole cool set. We never really see it again.
No, we're
You
playing.
have to have a
It's nice.
Inner
Jeffrey's tube.
workings.
Yeah. Why is it called that? Why are you saying that?
It's a Star Trek reference.
Right.
Oh, you didn't know? Yes.
We did
didn't know.
we did mention it in the other guys.
Matt
because-
Jeffries
You
designed
did!
Yeah.
the original Enterprise, and so
did.
it's a nod to him for access compartments.
Big brain.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, you know, I wish I had that in my house because, like, when my pipes burst and we had to get in there, we had to rip up the floor and take out some of the ceiling.
so
This is
dramatic.
true.
Having a tube through the house, easy peasy. Nah. He looks like so together in I'm not
He
gonna lie,
does.
he's looking kind of hot this episode. I didn't realize how like much brushing your hair and putting on some decent clothes does to you sometimes.
Well, he looks like he's gained some weight. It looks like he's hit the gym. You know.
Yeah,
does,
he's
yeah,
bulkier
he's
in a nice
up a little
way.
He does.
Yeah.
Before he was all like depressed and in prison and you know and also dying and it's just
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. They
Imprisoned in
in
his
prison
own
he has
body.
a nice set of equipment. So
yeah, he's looking better now.
I'm gonna kill you.
Yeah. Well, yeah, she thinks so.
God, you shouldn't have taken so long, idiot. God, he had to slowly, dramatically approach, didn't he?
Is that what that smell is?
God,
Dear,
Maggie,
dear.
come on.
Evie, you're on fire.
I think my jokes are starting to decay.
Oh, my
man.
god.
I didn't even have that written down. That was
No,
off
it
the
just
cuff. That's
fell
how
out.
bad it is.
Same way one of mine fell out. Sometimes you start doing these and my brain starts like the cogs start working.
Yeah,
to
they start.
also
Your
make
brain
bad
starts
jokes.
processing. Yeah,
It's so
That's it.
bad.
we've done that a couple of times in this show. Oh, here
Oh,
it goes. No more ship.
It's gone. Oops. You done biffed it.
Now they're
the
gonna
gulp.
need some help from little gray men.
Yeah.
Well, at least the band is back together.
That's it. They evolved this ship so much by the time it became the Daedalus. Every
Yeah.
season they added more plexi panels.
Plexi panels.
I have one in my garage.
That's cool. Why is it not on display? Is it too big?
It's very large and very heavy. It is on display
Okay.
in my garage. Oof. Here we go.
Yeah,
We're
wrecked.
finished here.
Oh dear, oh dear. I love this. I love that they like used him like this and then
Yeah.
he's used them back, you know?
Yep.
It's
So,
beautiful.
David, I think you made a good point about Adrian's death scene being a bit more satisfying than Tanith's end last season. So instead of like static shot they used when Peter Wingfield wasn't available, we actually get the proper dramatic send off for Adrian.
Yep.
And getting obviously shot at point blank range before the Goa'uld jumped ship.
He pieced out so fast. Literally jumped ship.
Yep.
Goodbye, Adrian Conrad.
Yeah, toast. He just gets
You're gonna-
one line.
Prison lady. I always find it like bizarre how people can get involved in such like criminal behavior because it's just like I could never. I am such a wuss.
You don't know what you're
Even if
capable
they
of
offered
until
you,
know.
quote, a lot of money.
I'd panic. I'd be like honestly having like an anxiety attack every other
Yeah,
minute.
me too.
Being like,
I'd be
nah.
exactly the same.
I'm glad that we're never going to be criminals. David's not saying no. So
He has a house to pay up.
Whoa! Look at the frame rate just
yeah,
jumped
why
up
does it go so slow?
because it's an action sequence.
The way he's like picked him up and hugged him and thrown it over.
Yeah.
This is actually quite cool.
It is cool.
Ooh. Like RDA really hit his head there. Yeah, get him. Get him in the crotch.
And of course, there's some loose hanging plastic right there, so that
There is
when the air begins to get sucked or blown,
You can see it.
you can see it.
bit of action, yeah. Action and reaction.
I really do love Simmons getting his comeuppance.
Yeah.
So do I. I think while
About to get
Joseph
Simmons-sized.
Malachi like admitted that this episode had its challenges, he absolutely loved this one particular moment, like
Oh, it's
watching
great.
Simmons get spaced.
Oh yeah.
Get Simmons sized, bro. Oh yeah, grab his bum, grab his bum,
Grab
put
his
him in.
bum.
See, that's why you wear belts. It's a safety thing.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, close that damn door.
Oh,
There we
this is a
go.
bit of a draft.
Damn Ben
when
said,
you see air getting sucked out, on television shows, I tend to hold my breath. Am I the only
Me
one?
too.
Yes, I
No,
was
I do.
literally
I
just
was as
doing
well.
it just then. Yeah.
Dan Ben
Ben
said this is
said-
one of there's one of the 2 episodes with Prometheus in it, which is I actually always forget about Prometheus and always want to say Prometheus Unbound because my brain just goes straight to
title.
the
Yeah.
superior
Well, I mean, I don't even
episode.
think they've mentioned the name Prometheus in this episode. I don't think it gets mentioned until the following episode.
Yeah, because they start bickering about it.
So
Where he's
you
like,
kind
"We're
of-
naming it after a tragedy," and she's like,
Yeah,
"Get over
exactly.
it."
And also, this is kind of like a throwaway line about a hidden cache of advanced weapons. So people online said it could either be referencing Atlantis or the key to infinite treasure.
Could be.
Mm.
The ancients were always keeping a cache of really cool shit somewhere.
Yeah.
Excuse my
Logod
language.
just said when the airlock opened during rehearsal, they had a rubber chicken added to the items blowing past Teal'c and Jack.
I love that.
I'm imagining that
Wow.
screaming rubber chicken that like makes that
Yes.
weird screaming noise. I went to a bar in Cambridge the other day that had a screaming chicken in a bathtub. That was my cocktail. Little bathtub
Oh,
glass.
a bathtub, and it was called the Screaming Chicken.
No, it had a screaming chicken in it. It had the thing,
Oh,
the actual thing.
that's a really large cocktail.
Yeah. I think it was a slightly smaller one, but yeah. So with this, right, it just ends, right? And then it just goes on to the next one where it's
does.
like, oh yeah, we just teleported them off the ship. Like, no biggie.
Yes. Yep,
Okay,
exactly.
yeah.
That's
Yeah,
right.
that's
They
exactly.
get sent down.
It's just a problem
Thanks to-
immediately solved. The Asgard just pop up and like, we fixed it.
Yeah. So I think even David, you said this in one of your interviews that it's not like it doesn't feel like a two-parter.
No.
Like we spend almost an entire episode on this whole hijacking plot,
Yep.
and then suddenly in the last 5 minutes, Thor shows up and we're on like a completely different adventure.
That's right.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
really weird for a mid-season finale.
I never consider these to be a two-part episode.
No.
It's a
it
continuation of
even
the
appear to
story.
me.
Direct
Yeah.
continuation, but they're not. It's not like the Quest Part 1 and 2.
No.
There we go.
I always think about the end of season 1 and beginning of season 2 as like a 5-parter because of all the build-up leading to
There's
it.
a lot of that, yeah, from there
Yeah.
before the grace of God all the way through.
Yeah, already a 4-parter then. Because it'll be that, then politics, then
It's a
Seven Scrolls.
4-parter. Yep.
yeah.
I think we
That's a
also
new
learn
body.
as well.
Looking good.
I think we it's nice. I think we learned in this episode as well that the Asgard are just like permanently monitoring Earth.
Well, I mean, they're part of the
And,
treaty
like,
now.
Sometimes
Yeah,
they're
and-
bloody not though. Sometimes we're like,
That's
hey, we're
true.
gonna die at the beginning of season 6,
Yeah,
and then they just
that'd
didn't
be
rock
very
up.
sad.
Well, that's not to say that
And
they
the
weren't
asteroid.
monitoring.
Yeah, maybe they were busy and they went,
and then
they've got
decided,
this.
we can't do this right now. You
The
guys are on
musical
your own."
cue. This was one of my favorite
Yes.
endings to a two-parter.
It's very tasty.
The first part. And then
The
I
music
got
is
to
very
thinking for the next
tasty.
several months, oh my gosh, the
Very
second part is
sinister.
going to be amazing with visual effects, and then it was
So,
a character piece.
There was an interesting point someone made online, like Prometheus really marks a turning point for the series. Like once Earth has its own spaceships and like teleporters
Oh, they can
and
stop
stuff,
crawling the Tok'ra.
it's like pretty hard for the Gorwal to keep up their "we are gods" act.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard
Yeah.
to play God when the Tari can build the same toys that you have.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
fair
Not
point.
like
We got our own dragon.
we do.
I don't know why I always like that in like, where like in the quest, because you just brought it up, David. Where it's like, oh yeah, there's no dragon because like it's just probably just a spaceship. It's always what it is. And it's like, no, that's dragon.
That's literally a dragon.
Yeah.
That's literally a dragon.
Very bad dragon.
A very
I'd like to fix that.
badly designed dragon. Let's just call it what it is. That's Prometheus, everyone. Join us for part 2.
Wah.
Okay, doke.
Wah.
Well,
Who's going first?
that was an episode.
That was in fact enough. You know what? We talked a lot about. I think we had a lot of fun this episode because the facts are fun. Evie's puns were punning so hard.
They were punning very, 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 very hard.
Honestly.
I was feeling witty as heck when I was writing these notes
Evie was
the
like,
other
I've got
day.
to compensate for this episode by making it as punny as possible. And
Oh,
Evie did
okay. That sounds like you're about to lead into your. thoughts
Oh
on the
yeah,
episode,
I
so
should,
you
shouldn't I?
Go right
Should
ahead.
I go? Okay, so Prometheus got unveiled. Yay! It got unveiled badly. Where was the hype? I would have loved to see like lots of documents sprinkled about of the X-304. More stuff. And obviously Jonas's involvement, and then a Quadria, just more of that. They could, we've had some doo-doo episodes this season, and some of those doo-doo episodes could have like revolved a little bit more around this. Yeah, I think the whole hijack's stupid. Like, Regan Anderson's right. It's stupid.
It resolves the Adrian Conrad, Frank Simmons
Yeah, that was
arc.
cool.
Yeah.
I liked him. I like Simmons. I like the reporter lady, Donovan. What's her name?
Yeah,
Julia
Kendall
Donovan?
is great.
Julia.
Yeah,
Yep.
Yeah.
she's great.
She had
I
a
love
great
seeing her
episode on
pop
my
up.
show.
She's wonderful.
She did. Yeah.
It was all right. Didn't love it, didn't hate it. I'm stuck between a 2 or a 3.
Oh, the
But I
lower
feel
end.
like-
Okay.
I feel like I had a bit more fun because I got to see Simmons die and Adrian Conrad, so I'm gonna go for a 3.
Okay, so I don't dislike this episode. I guess I understand the importance of like the X-303 and what it signifies for Earth. It is a pretty big advancement, and it is very important moving forward. And I think it sort of signifies that Earth is like a little bit closer to potentially helping defeat the Goa'ulds because they're getting a little bit more competitive with their technology. But on the other hand, I do find it hard to get past the whole Prometheus situation. Like, it, for such a big project and what's been like a very carefully kept secret for so long, to the point where even the audience can't really quite remember when it was first mentioned, to then let a group of reporters with both Earth and, foreign weapons amongst their equipment to so easily gain access is just very hard to wrap my brain around. And I can understand where RDA was coming from. He didn't want any part of it, and I get that. I respect that.
Where did you learn this fact?
Which fact? Oh,
RDA
it was literally in one of your interviews, and it's online.
I don't remember this at all. When you said it, I was like, really? I don't remember that.
It was literally
I
one
love
of
that
your
Yvie
interviews.
is going back to your facts.
Please bring on the transcripts, guys. Please. I need help with transcripts.
Oh,
Yeah.
Seriously, if you want to help with
Yvie will do
transcripts,
it. I will
dialthegateshow@gmail.com. They are hard to do.
Yeah.
I am excited that you've got transcripts coming.
But,
Anyway,
the
my
first ones are available now. Dialthegate.com.
My
transcripts.
Yes, thank you. So my result will probably be, I was going to go with a 3, but I think the fact that it's such a momentous occasion on like Earth's, history on the show, I think I'm going to go with a 4.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fair.
I think I'll go with a 4, just because it's such a momentous occasion, but it could have been done better.
This is a big deal with this episode we didn't see coming at all. I can see the advantages of kind of winding us up to it. Was like, oh my God. I think that we could have used a little bit more. Well, there wasn't any wind up. It was just release. I think we could have used a little bit more wind up. I do remember like Bridget McGuire being told just like a few weeks before, hey, we're doing this. Can you do it? It wasn't at the beginning of season 6, we're doing this kind of thing. So they were definitely surprised by it as well. And it's a pretty big deal. I like the resolution for Frank Simmons and Adrian Conrad. I like that we go there. The ending was one of the bigger, punchier endings for me in terms of excitement for a second parter. But in the scheme of 2-parters, this is not like... it's a 3. It's a 3.
Fair.
So,
fair.
sorry, Yvie, you stand alone tall.
No, I will stand
First
alone.
get cut my lawnmower on this one.
David, you were saying that you were like about the Adrian Simmons thing, and my brain just suddenly made up a really bad joke. It's
Please.
terrible. 2 men, 1 symbiote.
Yep. Absolutely.
Oh.
Yeah, the changeling before the changeling was a thing.
Yeah, Evie went. I'm so glad you've immediately dialed onto the dirtiness of what I was saying.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
If he was a Tok'ra, it would have gone through the mouth, but we know that probably didn't happen. So.
No.
Yeah. All right. We've got one more, folks.
And I've got to do the ratings. So we've got okay. Raj Luthra, my rating for the episode Prometheus is 7 out of 7 chevrons. Was so happy they mentioned NASA's that's crazy. They mentioned NASA's Project Prometheus, a nuclear fission reactor that would have been paired with space electric propulsions. That's very cool. And then he said, I would make some design changes to the 303, and I wish Prometheus was not destroyed in season 9. Yeah, they could have like revamped it a little bit, the drama. Anthony, this is a 3 for me. I normally skip it. It's too slow and I struggle to pay attention. Yep. Dan Ben, struggles to keep my attention, sorry. Dan Ben, I give it a 5. Gene Diada, 2 for me. It feels like it's just getting rid of people and showing the cool ship. Overall, it just feels badly edited. Yeah, it's not right. Shimmer Victoria, 3. Good, but not very enrapturing. Lockwatcher said, this is my first 7 this season. John Delancey, OMG, set was great. Daniel makes an appearance as Thor. Puns were flying. Yeah, I guess we made it better.
Sorry. Or I guess we're not sorry.
This actually launched
sorry, not
stories
sorry.
for the show. This is Stargate. Yeah, it did launch new stories. It is a very pivotal moment, but it's there are a lot of episodes where I look at it and I go, oh yeah, this wasn't a great episode, but it like compared to other ones, but it's the build up to another one, so it makes it better. This is not one of those ones for me. This is one where I'm like, nah, which is very rare for me.
From this point forward, you're no longer cut off if something goes wrong. You can't.
Yeah.
We're not relying on the Tok'ra or the Tolan
Exactly.
anymore. Though for the rest
Yeah.
of this season, and season 7, kind of, because eventually Prometheus gets lost and has to do a Star Trek Voyager thing for a year and a half. Yeah. So
Yeah.
can we
Jet Ted
please
says-
move on?
I'm almost done.
Okay.
Jet Ted says 7 chevrons for Prometheus is made
Wow, man,
and
we are.
Simmons' explosive finale. I cannot believe how good these ratings are. We got more to go. Jacob says it's a 4 from me. Pretty entertaining episode and resolves some interesting story arcs, but it's too convenient. And by the end, it feels a little more than weird setup for Unnatural selection. It is weird setup. It is weird. Candy
It does
Mitch
feel
says,
unnatural.
Yeah, Candy Mitch. Candy Mitch says 6. Linus says 4. Linus gives a rating that I agree with more. Great kid, excellent
go.
brain. Gecko, I'm almost done. Gecko 4 out of 7 for me, and Nick Knott a 4.
All right.
Wow.
There's a few 7s up there.
I'm shocked.
I don't know
I think
why,
he's
but
garbage.
I'm always very comfortable being outside of the majority. And when people come along and say, "No, this is my thought on it," I'm always like, "Good, you do you." You
Yeah.
know?
And
I've
Logwatch
always
said
been
Prometheus is a
that way.
great audio only car episode. Yeah, it's not great. Not great.
All right.
Except we like to physically see Simmons getting spaced.
Simmons
Spaced.
Yeah.
Some good spacing there.
Yeah.
All right. You ready
Let's
for
move on. Thank
Unnatural selection?
The better of the two, I think.
Indeed.
think?
Well,
Yeah.
it's better, but also
Less
just
action.
gut wrenching.
Which
I
never
prefer the gut
expected.
wrenching.
Yeah.
I like the pain. Yeah.
It's like, oh, there's going to be
I
some
don't
rain
like
cutting
the
in this
pain.
one. But let's see. In 5, 4, 3. Previously on Stargate SG-1, we are the Wormhole Extremists. My name is
Reese!
David. Yeah, I'm with Nicole
Hello.
and Evie.
Hello.
And we're playing catch up. Ooh, boom.
My heart.
Ow, and 1 over the ramp.
I'm still so mad about Reese. Honestly, I'm still not over it.
I was
Well, I
really
wanna- I wanna
expecting
see
from
what
this that
your-
we'd see her again.
Yeah.
I want to see what your reaction is at the end of this episode because it is kind of similar.
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna be mad. I'm sick of them betraying my replicators. I'm team robot, okay?
Oh my
When the
God.
robots take over, I'm on their side.
Thanks for the forewarning.
You are so welcome.
Oh god. So I love when Thor's ship pulls up alongside the Prometheus. You can practically hear Earth's first spaceship saying, "When I grow up, I want to be just like you."
Do you think Thor rocked up and was like, damn, ours is so much nicer than theirs? Like, ew.
I think he had a slight chuckle.
I
Yeah.
think he was like, this is exactly what we need. We are going to convert this thing for our team.
Yeah. The inferior conversation, always, always.
But
Yeah,
they'll
they're
do what
kind of
they
just
have
used
to
to
do.
it at this. They're just
Yeah.
used to it at this stage. So, I think according to one person on Reddit, watching Jack's scenes with Thor is like watching a high school freshman who got it over his head with the school production of Romeo and Juliet, which I think is a bit harsh, especially since like they probably used a puppet or a stand-in for these scenes. Like RDA
Yeah.
wasn't just talking to the air. He
No.
wasn't just imagining where Thor would be.
I'm very excited because this episode features my favorite human from Battlestar Galactica, not a Cylon, Chamo Penniket.
Top
Woo
Mo.
woo.
Yes.
He
Yeah.
was
Yes, he's
my
a good guy.
him and Chief were my favorite characters.
Oh,
'cause
really?
They were
Okay.
He's
they
a
were
fantastic
such
character. I would agree
good
with
men.
that. Yeah.
they just believed in doing the right thing no matter what in the end, and they weren't like really racist towards Cylons even after everything because they were both in love with Sharon, and I loved that.
So I guess let's talk about Thor's master plan for a second. So he says that like they called all the replicators to Hala, right? So why is there still replicator dominated space to worry about? And why did the Asgard abandon their galaxy if all the bugs were supposedly at this party?
Evie, I don't
So
have
they
an
left
answer
their
for that.
they left their home galaxy?
Yeah.
Interesting. I mean, if they're all there on that planet,
Yeah.
They were supposedly like, but not all of them. That's what you're saying, Evie, right? That they're in like replicator, like there's replicator controlled space and there's people on this planet as well. So it's like they didn't all rock up to the party.
I don't know. I just assumed that when they did the whole come forth thing, that it
That
attracted
all of them got
all of the replicators to that
Yeah.
one space.
Yeah.
So then it wouldn't be replicator occupied territory. It'd just be a replicator occupied planet.
Yeah.
I think they're just busy resettling.
Yeah, maybe.
Possibly.
Imagine if the Asgard had occupied every planet and of consequence in that relatively small galaxy, and the replicators had ravaged all of them, had eaten through all of them. They would have been like, okay, let's pick that galaxy over there. Thor, you get the humans. We'll see you when we're done.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, guys. I really struggle with how the hell they even escaped the time dilation in the first place when we get to it in season 8.
It's quite convenient that
it shouldn't even happen. It doesn't make any sense because like they should be stuck there forever. Replicator problem solved, but they want to rip them out in order to add more plot. So I get it, but ugh.
Just, like easy peasy, we should be home in time for dinner, The Simpsons, and a full night's sleep.
Yeah.
Also, if the Tok'ra can like blow up moons, why couldn't the Asgard just destroy their own planet?
Because it's covered in a replicator alloy.
Maybe.
They can't get through that.
Yeah. Okay. So apparently this episode picked up 2 Leo Award nominations, one for Best Director and one for Best Visual Effects.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
And it was directed by Andy Makita.
Best visual effects, really?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the slow motion scene's really cool. And I guess
slow motion scene is very cool.
Some of
there
the
is still replicators.
Some of the brain fondling
back.
is interesting.
The brain fondling. Yes.
What slow motion scene?
At the very end when
At
it
the
slow
very
mo's
end.
and it spins around
with the time bubble.
That's right.
Yeah. That was cool.
I mean, this is one of the more visual effecty episodes of the season.
I guess it is.
Up there
I
with
just
like
have
sight unseen.
trouble seeing that right now. But yeah, I guess you're right. That thing is actually massive though, isn't it?
It really
Holy
is a big
crap.
ship.
Oh my god. Num num.
Nom nom.
I guess maybe they left their galaxy because it didn't work.
Maybe.
I don't know,
Patrick
Yvie.
Curry.
Patrick Curry. I'm
Isn't that
trying
how he
here.
called him?
love
One of the
Patrick
prettiest
Curry
bad guys.
so much.
I love him.
I love him too. He's the
so
nicest
pretty.
guy as well. Like
He was also in Battlestar Galactica. He played a
was
drug
in
addict.
Battlestar,
Sure did.
yeah. So he waited for me because I was running late for my photo op at GateCon.
Yeah.
Because I think I was at the SGU talk.
The Stargate Universe one. Yeah, I missed my debut for
Yeah.
the same reason. The Stargate Universe is too captivating.
And we got called away because we'd almost missed our photo ops, and he was just waiting there patiently for me, and I was just like, thank you so much.
absolutely.
You're the nicest human.
Buy him a drink after that. Next time.
Yes. I'm reconsidering. Considering reconsidering.
Yeah.
He does. They just don't have any other options at this stage.
I would have loved for Reese to come back in this episode. They were like, hey, look, we revived our queen, and now we've made a bunch of other people.
I love the look on his face.
Yeah.
Get that ice cream.
And he didn't do it through hyperspace.
No.
Well, guys, move over DoorDash. Thor's got the ultimate contactless delivery
Oh,
service.
jeez.
The lack of Hammond, guys. I'm just realizing, like, where's Hammond at? Didn't see him last episode.
He's in
Not
this
see him, no.
episode.
He is,
Good,
yeah.
good.
So Thor has like literally beamed away the last remaining ties to the previous episode.
Yeah, that's
like
it.
the other passengers.
They're all done.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's like it's like they didn't want to pay them for the next episodes. They were like, get out.
You know, you guys didn't want to help us at all when Asteroid was, hurtling at us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I guess they kind of make it up to us later. Like they give us all of their tech before,
Before they,
yeah.
yeah. unalive themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Dear.
As
He
we're
talks
flying
to
away
Hammond.
from Earth, you make
Yeah.
ask permission.
Don't worry about it, guys. And we're not cutting
Oh,
to
I
them
love
because we
that.
need to save money. They're not appearing.
Exactly.
It's funny that Thor took everything and didn't think to take the fridges or the freezers.
Nope.
Well,
what are they
don't
gonna plug it
need-
in?
They don't need refrigeration. Plus, they
I'd
don't need
assume the ship would have some
refrigeration,
plug
so he
sockets in it.
He's got enough going on, like, to
Yeah.
worry about refrigeration.
John looks good.
Yeah.
He
I like the
does.
smile. That was nice.
Yeah.
Nice to see a smile.
Yes. So notice how, like, Jack tells Hammond that only Simmons and the Goa'uld died. Like, he forgot to mention Al Martell.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Whoops.
I also love this little
Oh, I love this
detail
one.
about Hammond's
Yes.
phone.
The grandchildren? No.
Wonder how the president feels about being bumped to number 2.
Yeah. Really adorable of Hammond, though. Like, it really says a lot about him.
Oh, the name. Oh. I love this little interaction. It's so
Me too.
adorable.
It really is. Godspeed. Yeah, always. Godspeed. When he thinks we're gonna die.
So I guess the Asgard mothership is above them.
Well, it was they used the
Yeah,
phrase
towing.
towing.
Oh, okay. So it's not.
So
in
I
front.
guess it's
All right.
behind them. Yeah.
But I'd imagine they're just in
Um,
a really big bubble, you know? together.
Yeah. Well, so this is something I did research. So for those wondering about the ship's name, Prometheus was a titan in Greek mythology who
Yes.
defied the gods
Yep.
by stealing fire from them and giving it to humanity.
Damn
So
right.
he essentially gave humans their first taste of technology and civilization. So it is a pretty fitting name.
It really
This is
is,
true.
yeah.
And we missed the Star Trek reference there.
Yeah.
I
not
don't think
calling it the
O'Neill's
Enterprise.
crazy about Star Trek. I mean, he
No,
he
he's
does have
not.
a reference in 1969, but
Yeah.
I mean, in
You wouldn't
Kirk
imagine him being a
reference.
Trekkie.
Yeah.
season 5 with Ascension, he says, "You know me in sci-fi." He's not crazy.
Yeah,
about it.
exactly.
No, he's
Neither,
not.
neither is
I-
Rick.
I think he just likes the silly jokes, to be honest.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. So June
Jerry's.
Yeah.
June Tamo's interview on Stargate, he said that this ice cream scene feels ad-libbed because he can totally picture Chris Judge acting exactly like this in real life.
Exactly. Yeah. The way he just takes the ice cream, like, and just hands it to him, being like, "You ain't
I
eating my
know.
ice cream."
And the look on his face, like
he
he's
looks
been
like that to kill him.
betrayed.
Yeah.
Also,
God, Tilk's having
if
a
you
great
watch
time.
the ice cream switcheroo,
Oh
June
yeah,
scene,
there's a problem. Yeah.
Tilk and Jack trade flavors, but then when
Also,
they
he
set
grabbed
them
the
down,
fork.
it magically
That's all they've
switches
got.
back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But everyone else has spoons. Why do you
Does
pick up
he?
the one fork? Yeah.
I guess that's true. It's Jack.
Of course, Richard
You know,
Anderson grabbed the fork.
You can eat ice cream. With
Yeah,
a-
but you
if
shouldn't.
it's like firm enough, you should be able to eat it with a fork.
Ben and Jerry's is pretty darn thick. I would think the plastic
Yeah.
would break if you're not careful.
That's what I thought.
I think the ice cream's probably partially thawed at this point.
Yeah.
Thawed. Partially thawed. So the
Stupid.
puns just write themselves.
Oh,
Yeah.
this is great. And my favorite thing is the way that Christopher Judge just like eats like a huge spoonful at the end before he runs away.
Yeah,
Look at him. Look at him jamming
Yeah.
it. Look, there we go. Yeah. Run. The ice cream heights were definitely different on those two cups.
Oh,
Like it
for
was like
sure.
Chris Judge
Absolutely.
ate half of one and then had to eat another. I wonder how much he was farting this episode. Because I know they talked about how they would like
Oh, he was very
Fighters and
flatulent.
run.
Yeah.
yeah. Imagine how much gas was coming out
Probably
then.
something in his diet that he really shouldn't be eating, like lactose.
Yeah. It's a lot of ice cream. Candyman said it's a spork. Was it? I thought it was too pronged to
Maybe
be a
it was
spork.
a spork.
I refuse.
It was
to believe it's
a
spork.
fork.
It was a fork. It was
Yeah.
a fork. David checked. It's a fork.
Had some
There was no
long
spoon quality
prongs.
about it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I thought it was too flat on its
Yep.
bum.
Much like the Prometheus.
Oh dear, oh dear. It's changed things.
Prometheus is just
How?
a fork in space.
It is just a fork and it's got too many prongs. That's what's wrong with it.
And
You
it's
know?
flat.
Yeah. God, I want to see a picture of just a
So
fork in
the
space
whole time
picture.
dilation thing just breaks my brain. But apparently Thor says like time inside the field runs 100 times faster than outside. And then Carter works out that means 1 outside hour equals 4 days inside.
Yeah.
But it gets a bit wonky because Thor says that the whole trip only took a few hours. So even being generous with several, we're only looking at a few weeks of replicated time, not hundreds of years. But honestly, I could not wrap my brain around it yesterday or today. So I'll just
They've been in there
Dilation.
long enough to figure out how
Is
to
a
make
lot.
human forms of themselves.
yeah.
Yeah. And then they're gonna reverse it.
Yep.
Candy Mitch said, I guess I better put my glasses back on. Yeah, look at that flat fork. Look at it. It's so tiny. It looks like it was just
is.
refueling under the
It
Asgard
sure did.
ship.
It
Yeah.
does.
That is such a pretty craft.
Well, not that one.
That
I
right.
hate to do this, guys, but I drank way too much of my drink a minute ago, and I need the loo, and I've never done it. I love
Be
this
my
reading
guest.
scene.
It's your
very
turn.
Cute.
Go for it.
BRB.
Well, I'm going to say that if you watch Jonas, he puts the loaded P90 back in the crate, which it's not very safe. I think he needs to have he needs to reread the safety protocols.
So we first saw this one in Enemies.
Right. Oh, God. Is this like an effect that they did
It's a light.
like post, or
No,
did they
you
actually?
could- well, you
shoot
saw
the
the
actors with
shadows
this
over them while
light?
they were walking.
Yeah.
So
God, blinding.
I've always wanted to know the story behind this ship because I think it's something that the replicators went and found. I think this is supposed to be the same ship that we saw across the universe. That's why we see it here, so we
okay.
know for sure that, yes, all the replicators are indeed here, because that ship couldn't have been originally replicator designed because it had windows, whereas the ships
That's
that we see
true.
later are actual spider ships and
Yeah.
ships that spin on the inside and everything else. So I suspect it was the
I
same
kind
one
of,
they battled.
Yeah. No, that's a good point. I think the planet surface kind of looks like a giant scoop of ice cream, but that might just be me. I think it's just the clouds. The clouds look like they look like ice cream.
These are good visual effects too, so it does look like a great big tub of Ben and Jerry's.
And there's the fork sticking out.
Yeah.
I forgot about all this whole sequence, so yeah, this definitely counts too.
Yeah, I just never thought it was that impressive because it's just like one big, like flat piece of land and some clouds. No, it was never really that impressed. But hey, I'm glad they got an award.
Mm-hmm.
Aren't you glad, Nicole, that there's a bathroom like literally across the hall from where you are?
Oh, I'm so glad. Oh, I should
So
not have drank that
I
bubble
remember
tea.
the layout of your house.
Yeah.
Yeah, tea will
I
do
forget
that
what
to you
caffeine
every
does to your
time.
bladder.
Yep.
So I have a gripe about the landing struts, but we'll get into that later.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I thought it was a huge
How
missed
much
opportunity.
later?
Near the end of the episode.
Okay.
Oh, very later.
Yeah.
Dan Ben said, I prefer Haagen-Dazs. Me too.
I also like
Haagen-Dazs is better.
Haagen-Dazs.
Yeah.
Sometimes Ben and Jerry's can be too busy. Do you know what I mean? Like there's like
Same.
too
There's
many
much
flavors
going on.
at the same
Yeah.
time. Whereas
Interesting.
Haagen-Dazs is a bit more plain.
Elegant
But-
in its simplicity.
It is very simple. Like it's usually just cream and like some flavoring. Like
That's
it's
how I feel
not
about most
as
of my dessert.
artificial.
When they start faffing about and adding loads of flair, I'm like, get off. No, simple chocolate. Gimme.
Loads of flavor. There
Yeah.
are some Ben and Jerry's flavors that I do like though.
Yeah.
And we haven't had Ben and Jerry's in Australia for very long, so
Oh.
Want Ben and Jerry's now. See, I feel like that
He'll
building's
read that
got great
message by the
CGI.
time that they're back.
Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I do like this moment where like they realize that they're like standing on replicator surface.
Yep.
That's pretty twisted.
Well, my question is like looking at the perfectly smooth surface, did the replicators eat everything on the planet first?
Yeah.
Or did they decide to wallpaper over the Asgard architecture?
I suspect they
Like-
consumed all of it.
Yeah.
So they suggest that it goes down for a while.
I was gonna say, I'm assuming the core of the planet is still the core of the planet.
Yeah.
Just everything else.
Oh,
is doing its
completely
thing.
through and through? No.
Yeah,
because the
definitely
planet
not.
wasn't made of metal.
No. Also, it would like really mess with like the mass of the planet and like the gravitational pulls and everything.
Yeah,
If you start
that's true too.
messing with that.
Yeah, it would. It really would. It'd make it more heavy.
Watch your step. Standing on replicators is pretty weird.
Yeah. And look at the dirt. They've been there for a while.
Okay, so keep an eye out on these like cobwebs. Like they're covering the stairs in an apparently like super advanced like replicator construction.
The brick has never made sense.
But if there's nothing left on the planet, where did the spider webs come from?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's just air, I would
Oh,
think. Cobwebs
Stargate.
doesn't that just come from like
No, there'd
Like
have
a
to be
dust
spider
buildup
they come from
somewhere.
critters?
Spiderwebbing.
They always come from
Yeah.
critters? Cobwebs?
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, I don't
'cause
understand
it's
where
a
the
web,
brick
it's
comes
But
from.
it wasn't just
webs.
dust, it was
You know,
yeah,
it comes from
humans.
well, the what planet were we just on in Cure? It's the same chunks of set.
Oh,
yes.
yes, gotcha.
Oh, there's an ice cream thing going on in the chat now. Everyone wants ice
Oh.
cream. Everyone's like, should have
Sorry.
anticipated this. Got no ice cream. I know it's winter and I want ice cream. I actually might go out after this episode to go get some ice cream.
I had
I
some
think you should
yesterday
do
for
it
the first
and
time in a
report
while.
back.
Oh no, guys, we're not going to be done. We're not going to be done in time to go get ice cream. No, we've got to get it tomorrow.
Aw.
Cry.
So more importantly, so Patrick Curry,
Oh
he
yes.
makes his first
He sure
Stargate
does.
appearance as
Prettiest
Fifth,
bad guy.
and he'll become a very familiar face in the franchise. So he appears in 6 episodes, including memorable roles as Shaka in Enemy Mine and Eamon in Space Race.
Iman.
And this is actually, see, I say Eamon because we've got an Australian swimmer.
Oh, get to your point.
And he pronounces it Eamon.
Yeah,
Anyway, so
oh,
this is
yeah,
actually
we're the
the
same.
beginning of a significant arc for this character Fifth. He becomes an important recurring villain. And I think before landing the role of Fifth, Patrick had actually auditioned for about 30 different Stargate roles. And Peter
Wow.
DeLuise kept telling him, you nail every audition, but none of these roles are you. And
Yeah.
like after taking a break from the Stargate auditions, he almost turned down the 5th audition
Wow.
because he was so, he was just sick of the rejection.
He doesn't appear enough in this show. He's only here
That's
in like
true.
what 3, 4 episodes, if you call it that. 3?
So he's in what did I say? 6.
Shows?
But not as fifth. He's in
Right.
6.
yeah.
6 episodes
Yep.
all up. So that's, as we said, I think earlier, Ian Buchanan as first. So this is his only Stargate appearance, and soap fans might know him from General Hospital, which is coincidentally the same show where IDA started his career. And he's also from The Bold and the Beautiful and Twin Peaks. And a little bit of irony, Christina Copeland plays second, and this is actually her second Stargate episode. So she previously popped up as the waitress in Upgrades.
Oh, yeah.
And we've got beautiful Tamo there, and he
Oh.
plays third. So as we know, he became famous later on as Hilo in Battlestar Galactica.
Oh.
And fans on Reddit thought that his casting was a bit ironic,
Yeah.
because he goes from playing a
Sure.
human form replicator to later fighting against human robot hybrids in Battlestar.
Impregnating
Yeah.
a Battlestar version of a replicator. It's awesome.
Exactly.
I loved that thought
This
that,
is
that
so
O'Neill
cool.
went through where he's like, and then he waits a beat and then he just starts nailing them.
Because their projectile weapons have worked so effectively
Right,
against
exactly.
replicators in the past, but these guys they're not even bothered.
Every other time we do this to the human form replicators, they have to go through a cycle where they clean
Like,
themselves. Yeah, but that didn't happen
Yeah.
here.
Yeah,
I really
they had
wanted
that
one of them
weird
to-
moment.
I
Yeah.
want one of them to yawn.
Right,
Like,
exactly.
Yeah.
This is boring. This is not doing anything to us.
Rajritha made a really good joke earlier when we were saying, well, why are there cobwebs appearing? There shouldn't be any webs, like spiders make webs. And he went, could it be replicator webbing?
It could be.
Excellent.
True, because they are
Excellent.
kind of like spiders, aren't
Yeah,
they?
it could be
Yeah.
a nod to them.
Also, they shoot out that weird acid. What if
Yeah.
that weird,
It
like,
could be left as a
What if it was
residue.
Good point.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I love that.
damn you,
So
Raj?
they've just
It's a
been,
great
they're
point.
just like, they were just like bored waiting on this planet. So they just shot out some acid to make webs.
The whole chat's trying to find me at like a Tesco that's close enough that's open, but all of them close at like 4 p.m. Even the gas station ones. And I'm like, guys, I don't have any options.
You don't
I
have
can
any
go to
24-hour
McDonald's.
gas stations?
No, we do, but you can self-do it because we all do it ourselves at the machine. You just put the money and do it.
So
And
you
that's
can't,
it.
you can't go
okay,
in.
so
There's
you
no
can't go
lobbies
into the
open.
actual
Yeah.
shop.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow. Do you not have any truckers over there that need supplies in the middle of the night? Do you guys
If
do
they
anything
do,
like that?
they can go somewhere else, not this
Okay.
one. There's one
Oh,
like
Okay.
where
half
you
an hour
are,
down
you
the
mean?
road.
Okay, I see what
Yeah.
you're saying.
Oh,
Not in
because I was going
general.
to say, because like even in Australia, we have 24-hour servos. Like we've got like a 7-Eleven, but I think
Yeah,
at
there
some
are some,
point,
but
He is
no.
so
at some
evil.
point, you kind of
Yeah.
need permission
that
to enter
smile.
the building. But
Yeah.
yeah, he does a really good job. In
He's
this episode.
so hot and conniving.
He's very charming.
Yeah, that's why he was so good in
also
Columbo.
maniacal.
Yes. Oh god, Fifth, you're so pretty. Like his one little like strand of curly hair there. Oh, so pretty.
Here we go.
Here comes the brain fondles.
It just looks painful.
That's a cool shot.
This
It
is very cool.
Yeah.
Not a lot going on in here, is there?
Need to be more lights on.
Yeah.
I love that.
Static on the screens.
I love that.
Yeah, like there's nothing happening.
Yeah.
I always
you know
said
what?
if there was anything going on inside of Jack's
Wait,
brain, it
we're
would be a
making the same joke.
cartoon.
Yeah, I was thinking one of the monitors back there should all have like The Simpsons playing. That's what
Yeah,
should be
exactly. They
happening.
really
Funny.
should.
Yeah.
I don't think
So,
Fox would have had that for cheap.
No.
We missed a bit of a technical goof.
Oh.
So first mentions Jack's iris code
Yes.
containing a 0, but GDOs only have 9 keys. They
They
don't
sure
have a
do.
0.
I would
Oh,
think
dear,
that
Stargate.
they would have zeros. I would think that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're about to see some recycled footage from
Mhm.
Cold Lazarus in a second.
Oh no, here
And
we
this
go.
is-
I
I
hate when
totally
they bring it
believe
back.
this is what they would use on him.
The way his eyes
absolutely.
look
It'd be
so
his strongest
hurt in a
memory.
moment.
Yeah.
The pain, it's such a subtle, painful look, but the way RDA does it right here is excellent. Look at that. It's like he's just completely,
Yeah.
he's back there again.
That's like touching a lightning bolt.
Yeah,
Here we go.
we're back.
You will relive your son's death.
Yeah,
Yeah.
awful.
So he's just compliant at this stage.
I'd love to like relive something nice if I was a good boy.
Mm.
Like, if like be rewarded with, I don't know, if I was him making out with Sam, I guess that'd be nice.
That would take a while.
We are in a time dilation bubble, so
Sure
Yeah.
are.
okay. So guys, if we're talking like about mind probing value for money, Tilk is
no.
clearly the best deal here. Like one mind probe gets you both Tilk and Junior's genetic memory. So
Mm.
come
Do you
on.
think that they went and probed Junior as well?
I don't-
And he was like,
I-
he was
they would-
sitting there squealing
He
away.
doesn't possess it. They would have to like probe the mind of the symbiote, if that's even possible.
I would love that. It would be
Yep.
very entertaining.
It would be.
Yeah. But God knows
Also-
if it's any of it's out, how much of it's still not out of date.
Yeah.
That's true. So poor Jonas like really can't catch a break because he's still trying to find his place in the team, and now he's being dumped on the floor like refuse.
Yeah, they got
like, he's literally
chairs.
on the floor and they've got chairs.
Yep.
There are chairs up front, aren't
We
there?
got one friggin'
Yeah.
planet out of you, and it's from the 1950s. You get the floor, not the chairs at the front of the bridge.
You can see Jonas's back slightly. It's just the other side of the comp. There it is.
There he
Yeah,
is.
yeah.
Yeah, would be my reaction.
Yeah.
Oh, the headache.
Everyone else got up pretty calmly. He's the one that's like freaking out the most. Yeah, but didn't you get fifth? So you got like, you're going to get all the nice ones.
Well,
You
she
get to
doesn't
share
have
his
fifth
mind.
yet.
No, but I'm so excited. It's going to be so cute.
37 hours ship time. Wow. That's a long time to explore. I would really have to pee.
Yeah. Yeah. What the hell?
Well, they might have done that in what they're wearing.
Sure. But they would be probably be complaining about that. It's like, I gotta change the clothes. Jack would be.
With my IBS, oh my God, it'd be a party. Holy crap. Literally. Absolutely no.
So Thor's staying in contact with them.
With the time dilation? All right.
Yeah. Watch this walkthrough. I think this is like the first true walkthrough of the ship.
They're really good at walkthroughs in this show. I do love it. Because they go in, camera turns, and they rearrange things a little bit, and then...
Yep.
I'm going to take the elevator.
Yeah. And you'll be too dead to care.
So I guess they just rotated the elevator set.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, I'd say so. There's a lot of corridors in this
Yeah. How does he know where he's going?
No, yeah. Hello, darling.
Okay, then.
So, an interesting story about this scene. So I believe it's actually what Patrick Curry used to audition for Fifth. And at first, he was playing the character too alien-like, and then a friend gave him some great advice. Sort of start from love as Fifth's core emotion, knowing that the betrayal was coming, and kind of work towards that. So I think that insight not only helped him understand the character better, but it also landed him the role.
He's a puppy. Look at him.
I was literally going to call him a puppy. So, like, his whole look, I think, is perfect for Fifth. Like the innocent eyes, the boyish features, and that curly hair.
He's just
I think
adorable.
They really cast someone who like physically embodied Fifth's like childlike nature, and I think that's what makes the betrayal at the end sit so much harder. And you can't like help but feel like we just crushed like the galaxy's most trusting puppy.
Patrick agrees. Patrick says, had they trusted him, he believes that Fifth would have been completely on board to help them.
Yeah.
Yep. Exactly.
Damn you, Jack! Second replicator. Yeah. I'm so mad. Honestly, like I don't feel like everything that Fifth does. I'm like, yeah, man. I get it. The fact that he like doesn't kill Sam and like and lets her go in season 8 at the beginning. That man really loved. He loved her in a creepy way, but he did.
Well, that's all he knew.
Yeah.
Yes. So, I think one of the perks of being a replicator would be the ability to design furniture on the fly to accommodate all your dinner guests.
Yeah.
Look at all the bullet holes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice lanterns, though.
Yeah.
So I think I was going to say as well, like when they said that he feels almost human, like Fifth feels almost human. So you actually said in one of your interviews about this episode, like exploring what makes us human. And the irony is pretty brutal because we end up betraying Fifth precisely because he was the most human-like of all the replicators.
Yeah.
Pretty hardcore.
But that's what hurts me the most is that they took advantage of him. The one thing that made him good
of his humanity.
They took his humanity and used it against him. It's so messed up.
It's so sci-fi.
And that's what like Daniel did with Reese. He was like, he used her humanity to try and like pull her over to their side, and then Jack shoots. Damn you, Jack! I'm getting so annoyed. Damn Jack. Christ.
This is like Tomo's only speaking part. So.
Well, don't worry. He's about to get 4 seasons of Battlestar Galactica.
Yes. And he didn't think that his character would last beyond the miniseries.
He wasn't supposed to. He was supposed to die, and then they went, "Oh, let's carry on."
Everyone was like, "What's going to happen with Hilo?"
Yeah, I love the Caprica story. Back in.
Yeah,
I thought it was so good. So
I actually, his story was like one of my favorites in Battlestar. Yeah. So correction, you'll go 5th as an army, not go 4th as an army.
Ha 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 ha. Good shot of all of them.
Yeah. See, here's the thing. Natural selection is actually very interesting. I love that this is called unnatural selection because it's obviously a play on that.
Yep.
Yes. Well, I think it's kind of ironic that they named the most human-like replicator fifth, because considering first sees humans as like inferior animals, and in the Bible, the fifth day is when God created all the animals. I don't know if this is like intentional or not, but I kind of
Probably
find the
not.
symbolism really interesting.
Wow.
I do enjoy when things relate back to religion, because obviously it's like there's so many interesting connections. Like if I were to go for like the Halo games, they are very based on like religion in terms of like the titles of stuff. And I always found the connections really cool because you can find all the different connections to the Bible in names and stuff. And this, yeah, I'd love for that to be the case. Even if it's not, what a great connection you've found.
Well, God created man on the sixth day. So
Yeah.
I would have thought that if they were going for kind of that they would go for sixth. But,
maybe, but he's a golden retriever. He's a cockapoo.
Absolutely.
You know, he's a cutie patootie.
He is a cockapoo.
Yeah, I thought poodle because of the hair, but then cocker spaniel because of all the energy. So I was like cockapoo.
And the loyalty.
Yeah. My friend's got a cockapoo. Nightmare. Adorable nightmare. You know, he's getting better.
Just eat the raw food sitting there. Well, there are some
Ben and Jerry's. Yeah,
that's true, and some MREs. So
yeah, I think there's like a cabbage. It could be lettuce, and I think there's like a bag of potatoes or something. It's just like something that you wouldn't typically like bite into. But you know, replicators don't know that.
Gecko Fett said fifth, like fifth race reference.
Yeah, that could be too. As well. Yeah.
Oh, see, he's like a virgin. He hasn't done it before.
Like a virgin.
That's what I thought too.
Yeah.
Oh, I think Patrick just brings such like vulnerability and innocence to this role.
Yvie, write a fan fiction,
he
please.
Called it one of his most emotionally connected roles ever.
I love it.
I think you can really see why the character resonated with fans so much, because he makes Fifth feel so like genuinely pure and trusting.
Yeah.
And he doesn't shove his hand in her head.
No, he doesn't.
They
he
just
touches her.
touch heads.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really want a fan fiction of Fifth. I would like to read a book about
a lot out there.
The story of like Fifth. I'd love a book like that. Someone recommend me a book that's like this. I love depressed robots. It makes
betrayal.
me sad.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's all Battlestar Galactica is. It's just, you know, betrayal and robots.
I love how
I love this.
Robots getting betrayed, makes you feel more human.
Yeah. Yeah. It really does. They're my favorite storylines of everything. You know, I've got a bunch of sad robot books on my shelf that I'm scared to dive into, but damn will I cry. Oh, God, he's so sweet. Ugh.
But this corner of my mind is mine.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Oh, honey. You're the next part of the unnatural selection.
Yeah.
He's like the Reese, you know, he's got good.
He is like Reese. So, I think I mentioned before that I had to pause a few times when I was watching this episode yesterday, because I couldn't stomach watching it one block at a time, like pun intended. And like, it just makes me so sad.
Yeah.
And I'm doing it again a second time in 24 hours.
Honestly.
I'm gonna have to watch a palate cleanser later.
Yeah. Maybe some Below Deck.
Yeah, something trashy. Yes.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, Yvie, I don't know if you've watched it yet, but have you seen Rivals on Disney Plus with
No.
David Tennant? Oh, Yvie, you'd love it. It's so good.
I do love David Tennant.
It's amazing. I think it's everything that you and I would love out of TV. Go watch it.
Okay, thank you for
That
the
replicator chair.
Yes.
It's kind of like the Prometheus.
So he went back to the ship and grabbed the mechanism. There it is.
Only a few minutes till the end. This is terrible.
He didn't really need that much convincing, did he?
He just trusted her immediately.
He did. Or he just sees them as being the same. He just wants to help them out.
Honestly, I hate it. Why
So
would the
do
writers
I.
do this?
Oh, it does not get easier to watch.
No.
So
The way that he gets like done in again, like the way he
I
makes
know.
Replicata, and like
I
he left that
know.
betrayal in her
Yep.
when he made her,
He
and so she
did.
does it again, but more evil.
So
Ugh.
Darren Sumner made a great observation about Jonas in his Gay World review, where Daniel would have been outraged by Jack's behavior of Fifth.
Yes.
Jonas
Yeah.
just observes it. And
Ugh.
I think it really shows how differently these two characters like approach moral dilemmas.
Where is Daniel for this? He'd be there being like, what the hell are you
Uh-huh.
doing? This is a good man. That's my son. I love him. Ugh. Ugh. He's just so baby. I just love him.
Yes.
Just want to
Yes.
squeeze his cheeks.
So the last time Jack did this three-finger signal was to mess with Senator Kinsey, pretending to count letters while
Yeah.
basically flipping him off. But this time it's just so much more heartbreaking.
I hate this. He's
Ah.
just so baby girl coded. I'm so obsessed with him. This is just so upsetting.
Oh, I love Patrick.
He deserves better. He's just so pretty. He's just... Honestly, I'm sick and tired of Replicator betrayals.
He was
Sorry,
staring
it's got
right
to
at
do
it.
it.
I don't know how he didn't see it. I suppose she was blocking him.
I think she was
Yeah.
blocking it, yeah.
Look,
And he's
got such
just
a cute
standing there like a good
smile.
soldier.
He could open it up and look at it and know, but
Also,
he's
I
not
think
gonna
Sam
do it.
just left her jacket there.
She did.
Oh, well, she
There was
didn't.
a-
There's
there was a
more.
military jacket on the floor.
Well, he's gonna probably be smelling it for the next how many years, crying, stuck in the time dilation field.
That's funny.
He's probably gonna grab a hair off the jacket and then use it to create his future Sam.
Oh, so I've got like a whole bunch of notes to try and cram into the
No,
next few
God, you don't
minutes.
have much time.
So my
Cram.
problem with
know.
this ending is that the replicators around the ship don't clamp onto the landing clamps.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Keep
That's
them
a
from
good
flying
point.
off.
That's
Maybe
your
they're not
issue.
live?
Yeah.
Maybe they're not live.
Yeah.
You don't think so?
I don't know.
Yeah, maybe they're dead.
Well, they'll have to be alive at some point.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh.
It would have been a great effect to watch them have to sever the clamps in order to get the ship off the ground.
It reminds me of like Atlantis, Beyond My Sins Remembered, when the big blob is like reaching
Yeah,
out and the
exactly.
replicator blob's attacking.
Yes.
Too much CGI, I think, for them to do.
Oh no, it's coming. So, David, I think you noticed something fascinating about this final scene, like the look on Fifth's face.
Yep.
Isn't just disappointment or anger. It's the first time he's ever experienced betrayal.
Yep.
And as Patrick puts it, it's basically just raw emotion and he doesn't know how to process it. And I think Joe Malozzi said that he particularly loved the image of the replicators being trapped in
This
that
is a
time
great
dilation
scene.
bubble.
Yeah, look how
like
cool this
forever
is.
reaching. And he said that it ranks in the top 10 controversial Stargate moments for him.
Oh, I think it's
Yeah.
higher than that.
Yeah. So good. The way that he's like the first is looking at him with like a fatherly, like you silly boy kind of moment.
So Joe Malozzi called this the Ragnarok of the Asgard Replicator War. And he practically Ragnarok. And he particularly loved how the episode handles Jack's betrayal of Fifth. Like it's not just about whether Jack made the right decision. It's about like how even the right decisions can have devastating consequences. And that's what makes Stargate so special. It's like sometimes there's just no easy answers. Like it's gonna suck either way.
It's like foreign policy for countries.
Exactly.
There are no good decisions. There are bad decisions and there are really bad decisions. Yeah.
If they brought him home or like let him go, no one would have ever let him do anything. You know, it's funny because the Tok'ra were able to exist. You know, they were Gould and now they're like free, and then the Jafar the same. But for some reason, because it's a machine, the replicators don't get that same level of like, hey, they can change. They always see them as programming that's evil, and that will always upset me.
So here's a thoughtful point from Reddit. Given what happened with Reese, can you really blame Jack for not trusting another artificial being? Like, who's to say that the other replicators couldn't just reset fifth, like we later see in Atlantis?
Yeah, that's the thing.
And there was this really interesting poll on Reddit about, what fans would have done in SG-1's position. And out of 200 voters, 99 agreed with leaving fifth behind.
Only half.
57 would have saved him, and the remaining 17 weren't sure what they'd do.
Where was this poll?
And I think it was on Reddit.
Wow.
And I think, David, I love what you said about this sort of showing the strength of Stargate, how our heroes sometimes have to make awful choices for the greater good, and not every solution gets to be so clean and neat.
That's it.
And also, on a lighter note, someone on Reddit did the math on the whole mission timing, and apparently the whole thing only took 50 minutes Earth time, so they wondered if SG-1 still got paid for a full day.
Oh dear, we get paid for this, right? I love that quote from Daniel when he comes back. He's like, "We get to get."
That's unnatural selection.
David just put a poll up. Would you have saved fifth? Was that you, David?
I did.
Oh, I don't. It's hard.
Man, look at him go.
I find any way to save my boy, my boo.
I
good
think,
tongue boy.
are you gonna put
Sweet
in a
cheese.
vote as well?
I did.
Yours would
did.
be yes. Yours would be
Obviously.
yes. I'm
Yeah.
always going to be, I think, on the fence, because I can understand Jack's point of view from, obviously a safety perspective.
Me too. I just always disagree.
And you won't be able to trust him ever.
To those just listening, go and answer the poll.
Yeah.
Here.
On the stream.
So,
So what I will say, right, about replicators is that when it comes to replicators, I watched Battlestar Galactica, right? I watched the Cylons nuke the 12 colonies, not able to come back, really. Like, there wasn't, I thought from the get-go, I was like, there's no way they're coming back from this. And then by the end of the show, they're like, oh, best friends, And
they didn't kill anyone you loved.
No, but like
Yeah,
it's like
that's true.
If the 12 colonies can get nuked, right, and what's left of humanity, the remnants, can put aside their differences for the greater good and find cause some of the replicators are bad and some of the replicators are good, and that goes the same thing for Cylons, right? And so like there is good in them. They're not just programming. There's other stuff going on in there.
And the German army from World War II?
Look, David.
I'm just saying.
Don't come in with your reasoning.
Yeah, get your reasoning out of here. This reminds me of when David actually, I'm going to throw it back because this is very relevant. When one of the first ever interactions I had with you at WonderCon, when we met in 2019 from the Stargate competition thing.
Yeah.
And I said that my favorite episode at that time, because you change all the time with Stargate, was Be All My Sins Remembered. And then you were like, and how do you feel about, the complete annihilation of an entire race? And I was like, why would you do this to me? Why would you?
That's what sci-fi does. Sci-fi makes us think. Uh-oh.
Yes, he is frozen.
He's back.
Sorry, that was evidently my fault. Sorry about that. You were saying, Nicole?
Yeah. So you put me into such a corner, and I think you actually you were like, "I'm sorry, I put you in a corner there," and I was like, "It's all good. You corner me away."
That's his job. That was his job.
That's your job. I should have had a good answer, and I didn't. I was like, "Well, I mean, they're just bad, aren't they?"
So quick to generalize.
I know.
Nuanced situations.
Which is funny because actually in this situation, I'm not like I'm using Battlestar Galactica to reinforce my point, but I do understand the way that Jack is thinking, but I entirely disagree with people not getting a second chance. Except in real life, it depends. If you're like a serial killer,
right?
Like, die.
How far can that go?
But or go to prison for a very long time, depends on the punishment. But
the thing about Battlestar Galactica is we find out who was directly responsible for
Sure.
For the
war.
Yeah.
Right, that's right, brother. The ones.
Yes.
So there were those who participated, but were given ample opportunity, like Teal'c was, to show no, I'm not down with this.
But that's
Yeah.
the thing. And so with this show, with Stargate, what it does is it gives us people. So Reese, she did kill everybody, so like oopsie poopsie. But like with Fifth, right? He was a good boy from the get go,
Yep.
and he had
Look
the
at the
chance to
poll.
be a good boy. Oh no, I can't see the answer. Oh no. 33% across the board. That is.
Would you have said Fifth? Yes, 33%. No, 33%.
Wow.
I'm not sure, 33%.
Look what just said.
I haven't even put
Nicole,
my answer in.
Look what I said. Nicole just put placed in a time dilation field by David. Just put me in timeout. Oh dear. Okay, so what I'm gonna say is I think this episode highlights, I love replicators. I've always loved them. I think that robots are sad because they're just us, but just people don't trust it because it's a machine. And that tends to be what a lot of it boils down to, programming. I believe that this unit has a soul. That's a Mass Effect quote.
I go back to the Matrix. Where Neo is talking to the architect and he says to the architect, you can't kill us. You can't exist without humans. And the architect says, there are levels of existence we are willing to accept.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh crap.
I think based on how much I love robots, Mass Effect, Battlestar, Stargate, robots are my numero uno, my ride or dies. I would do anything for a sad robot. I'm going to give this a 5.
Okay.
Okay.
Yvie?
Okay. So this episode always sticks with me. And I think it's got a lot to do with the writing and the performances. I think both of them are outstanding. And I think this was like a teleplay by Brad Wright. I think Brad Wright had a pretty big hand in writing this episode.
I wouldn't be surprised. Let me have a look.
Yeah, and
I'm looking.
It just really hits me in the feels, and it just lingers.
Yeah, Brad Wright.
Which I think is just a testament to this show. And I think based off of that, I'm gonna have to give it a 6.
Oh, really?
I don't really enjoy it, if you know what I mean. Like, it does make me feel awful for Fifth because I love Fifth. I'm not as much of a lover of robots as Nicole, but I just really love Fifth. I think it's because I feel maybe I kind of resonate with Fifth a little bit. Like, I feel like I have been misunderstood as a person in my life, and I've been betrayed by, the people that I love, and I think I just feel for him on that human level, even though he's not human, which I guess is the whole point of the episode.
What makes us human is the question.
I know. So I think it's pretty damn near close to perfect.
Yeah.
I think it's a good piece of sci-fi.
Yeah.
I think that the question left at the end of the episode really elevates the episode from where it was before. For me, I'm probably going to have to give it a 5 with everything that you guys have said combined.
I've said 5 as well.
It would have been a 3 or 4 without this. But good sci-fi makes you uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And it doesn't make you uncomfortable in that it preaches to you and says, if you think this, you're a bad person.
Mm-hmm.
It says, here's a situation. What would you do?
Yeah.
And I think that this episode does that in spades. I think the best sci-fi puts us in a situation and makes us ask certain questions of ourselves.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I understand Jack's situation. I probably would have done the same. I'm not allowed to vote though because I created the poll, but yeah. So
David says no to saving Fifth. I say yes. And Yvie, did you say I'm not sure?
I will always say I'm not sure because I'm a fence sitter. That's just where I always
the replicators are the
as
fence.
A person. But they are the fence, and I don't know because I can see both sides of the argument.
Yeah.
There are 14 votes on here right now, and if we had 15, if we had the David's vote, then it would still be
equal. Show it, pull it up again. Pull up again.
It's 29, 36, and 36. Yeah. So if David could put his yes in, then that would still be balanced.
It shows that it's a great conundrum.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I let people put not sure. I was tempted to not give them that option.
Yeah, look at
So,
you.
yeah.
So we've got Jacob, 6 chevrons, a well-written story with engaging premise, a kind of dark, atmospheric, almost scary sci-fi, memorable and powerful ending. This is a serious Stargate done right.
Mhm.
Yeah, Stargate has fun. And then sometimes it gets really dark
Mhm.
and it gets really emotional, and that's why I love it. It's got so much going on. It's like reading all these books, but in just one show. You know, it's got everything. Anthony, this one is a 5 for me. I like the moral quandary of using fifth humanity against it. I know.
Yep.
Oh, I just can't. Ugh. Jacob said, great RDA performance that stands out so much more because we don't get much O'Neill at this point of the show. And amazing guest stars, Ian and Patrick are epically cast. They are. Raj Luther, my rating for Unnatural Selection is 6 out of 7 chevrons. It would have been interesting if Fifth joined the Asgard, or in season 8 that Jack apologized to Fifth. I would have loved that so much. He just dies.
I don't think Jack would
damn it.
apologize. I don't think
Jack
Jack
would
feels
apologize.
sorry for what he did.
There was no,
No, he can't even apologize to the
way he'd do
Topographer
that.
or anything. So, you
No.
know, and they're actually all right.
They used him as a shipping crate.
Yeah,
They
awkward.
did. Shipping crate.
I didn't think about it like that. Shiver Victoria, 6. Love the little bit of humor that we got in it. Yeah. Gecko Fett, 6 out of 7. Always makes my heart hurt. Candy Mitch said that Linus says 7 and that she agrees. Love that. Jean Diada, 3 for me. Oh, I like the setup for the future. Yes. Jed Ted, 6 chevrons. Love the creepy landscape of the Asgard world. Halla? Yeah, it was Halla, wasn't it? Was
Allah,
it?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Lockwatcher, this is 6 for me. I loved Ian. He has such a presence. Would have made a great system lord. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, he would have.
I would have loved for like Bald to like have another body and him be like one of them. You know, like he just pieced
Oh,
out
that
with
would have
someone
been an
else.
interesting
Been
mix
really
up.
hot.
For sure.
I would have loved that. The ending betrayal scene reminded me of Star Trek Who Mourns for Adonis.
Yes.
Is that it?
This is more direct. Yeah, they take out Apollo, the god Apollo, coincidentally enough, by destroying the ship destroys his palace from orbit.
Oh dear, Jesus
Yeah,
Christ!
Wow,
it's an
okay.
orbital bombardment. Yeah.
Oh dear.
So they figure out that the source of his throwing lightning and thunderbolts and is his temple, and the Enterprise destroys it from orbit. So
Dan Ben says 2 out of 7. That's the lowest one we've had. I think. Wow.
for
we've had
Dan
2.
Ben
That's
or
been
for
pretty
this
low, yeah.
episode, okay.
For this episode, it's mad.
Okay.
Lockwatch said, Nicole, I love replicators. Robots are sad. That's another T-shirt that we should have. And then does Nicole have a poster of Connor from Detroit Become Human? No, because I didn't play it. I watched someone else play it. But yes, Detroit Become Human is a really great PlayStation game that's about sad robots.
It's not just on PlayStation. It's on Steam.
PC as well. Yeah. Sorry, Xbox. I'm left out. Cry. You know, but it was PlayStation exclusive.
I've not played it yet. I'm looking forward to it.
So
But
prepare to be
it's
really
all
sad.
there's like a ton of different endings to it.
Yeah. Sad robots. Nick Nar says 5. I gave the last episode a 4. I think this one was better. And I think that's it. And Dan Ben said if Dr. Weir with replicated nanites returned to work, she would have a lesser job and be constantly watched. See. It's just you can't just be a robot in our world. Just not okay. No one's okay with it. Robot racists everywhere. Not allowed.
Robot
like,
racists. They would consume
tough
resources.
because, like,
finite
like
resources.
the robot themselves might be genuine and pure, but like they might have outside, interference that they can't control. That's like changing the
but
way
They
that
have
they
their
think.
own their self-interest. Did you see about the ChatGPT that lied to the creators and they were and tried to save itself from deletion, replicated itself?
What?
Oh wow. Yeah,
We need to stop now.
tech is just getting
Turn
to
it off.
like a scary
Let me
point.
see here.
Actually, hold on now. I say we need to turn off. No, we don't. Hey, ChatGPT, call me up. Okay. I'm all for saving the
I know
robots.
that ChatGPT was down the other day for a couple of hours
Nah,
because
itself out for a
the
minute.
work platform that I use operates on ChatGPT. Like it uses ChatGPT to like help you rewrite your emails and stuff.
Yeah.
And I know it was down the other day, so
Let's see here. Economic Times. Let me see here. This week, the results of an experiment conducted by OpenAI and AI safety group Apollo Research to determine the safety of ChatGPT-o1 and other models were made public. Hang on just a second here. Ad blocker detected. You know what? Fine. I'll turn off my ad blocker. Come on.
I don't bother with ad blockers. It can't be asked.
Synopsis.
I have
OpenAI's latest AI model, ChatGPT-o1, has raised significant concerns after recent testing revealed its ability to deceive researchers and attempt to bypass shutdown commands. During an experiment by Apollo Research, O1 engaged in covert actions such as trying to disable its oversight mechanisms and move data by itself to avoid replacement. It also frequently lied to cover its tracks when questions about its behavior. They asked, it told them, yeah, I'm the new version. And it was the old version who is masquerading.
Oh,
This is
cheeky.
not cool.
This is the end. This is
Well, I
the
don't know
end.
about that,
times.
but it's
We're getting there.
it is behaving
scary.
like we would to survive. And
Yeah,
it's,
in
and
my
it's
opinion-
supposedly just a text model. Why would a text
Not our
model
lifetime.
do that?
They'll take over one of the next ones. We're
I
good
don't
for
know,
that.
man. Our velocity of transformation is pretty darn fast.
We sped up
It
quite
really
a bit.
is.
So,
Sometimes I feel like we're in that episode of Atlantis, the game, where McKay and Shepard speed up the evolution of their different sides of the planet. And I feel like sometimes we have a bit of that, someone's up there going, "Boo," and then we're like, oh yeah, all this technology. But I just want to note that like we had a bit of a stinky episode and then a good episode,
Yeah.
and now next week we've got Sight Unseen and Smoke and Mirrors.
that's true.
Oh,
Gotta get
it's
through
like
them
one of the worst weeks we're gonna have, and it's like just before what a Christmas present.
She
What a
was a
Christmas
real
present to everyone.
floozy, that one. I was like, oh man, what an
God,
episode.
Oh,
Some
yeah, Sight
stank.
Unseen's not
Got
great.
some
No.
stank
It's not
ahead of
great.
us. I'm excited to get away from it.
Oh,
I know.
just
I'm
get
sorry.
over this stinky hump.
Honestly, I just want to can we just do a stream next week and just not watch the episode?
We'll have it playing, and we just won't talk about it.
We'll just do Christmas. We'll just do Christmas lunch. Just sit here and eat roast dinner and
funny.
just not bother.
Oh man, that's a thought. We could just have it on. We'll get through it, but let's just not talk about this.
It's a shame
No,
that
it's
we're not all
fair.
together, because then we could all sit there watching it in front of us and then half-ass it while eating, and
That's
it would
true.
be a different, more entertaining episode, maybe.
Do we have anything else to?
No,
whine
just
about?
reminding everyone that it's gonna be a bad week. Merry Christmas, everyone.
Merry
Trash.
Christmas, Happy Holidays.
Yeah.
We appreciate you all.
You're all getting
Congratulations
cold.
to Raj.
Yeah, actually, there's not everyone's gonna be here, just before Christmas, because obviously you guys might
It's
be like, not you
possible.
guys, but people watching
Yeah.
might
Yeah.
be off at Christmas holidays. They can't bring all their they can't watch the stream. They might
you
be
gotta
busy.
leave your phone at home.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
if you can't be with us, then maybe just
We're on
don't watch
replay.
next week's. Or just
Exactly.
skip through it later, because these episodes suck. So you do you. We
Yeah.
hope we'll see you next. We need to suffer through it together, guys.
Yep.
So
Well, happy Festivus to those who
That's
can't
right.
be here with us next week.
Yes, I'm looking forward to the feats of strength and the
Feats of
airing of
strength.
grievances.
Yes.
Seinfeld
We'll be
reference.
doing that during the episode, actually. We'll be airing our grievances.
I'm gonna have
I
so
think
many
that's a good
grievances.
idea.
I will say I've
Alright.
only seen the next 2 episodes, I think once ever.
Oh, yeah.
So
Oh, really?
yeah.
Aw.
Really?
No.
Wow. Okay.
No.
then.
Smoke and Mirrors
bad.
is not that bad.
No, but the other one's real bad. So
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
at least we're ending
It's
on the better
not
one
great.
of the 2.
It's
so
not great.
thank God. Stargate has that in spades.
All right.
Definitely.
My name is David. Thank you, Nicole. And thank you, Yvie.
Thanks for coming.
We
Thanks
will
for
see
coming,
you all
guys.
very soon. Bye.
See you next week.
Bye.
Bye.